Good evening and welcome to Schnozzcast, episode 111 for Friday, February 5th, 2021. Good evening. This is Bob, and we're going to introduce you to my chums around the room. Going to my left, Mr. Nicholas Bader.
Oh, hello, Mr. J.W. Rankin. Good to be back. Across the room from me is Mr. Cory Celeski. How are you, sir?
Oh, hey. Not bad. How about yourself? And to my left, the radiant Miss Danielle Finn.
Hello. You actually remembered this time.
Yeah, and you're also listed as me, and I'm listed as you, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, switch those around. Ipso facto.
Anything I can do, she can do better.
Yeah, I'm listed as Danielle the Radiant.
Ooh. You got to think of something else than the Radiant. I mean, she is radiant, but
there's a great website called thesaurus.com where you can type in words like radiant, and it'll suggest other words.
Like radiant?
He's like,
but not radiant.
Bob said that R word that one night, and that was just spectacular. So.
That was 1 year ago. All right. So if you are new to the show, welcome. If you are not, thanks for coming back. You can find us out on social media at iTunes, which I think now is Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, and anywhere else that you can find a podcast. And we are also out on social media on all the sites, starting with Facebook at Schnozzcast, moving then slowly over to Instagram with Schnozzcast, at Schnozzcast, and on YouTube at Schnozzcast. And I will reiterate, if you email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, Danielle Finn will respond with any advice or questions that you might have for her. Thanks, Danielle.
No problem.
I really feel like you'd be good at it.
I wish somebody would just email us so we could find out.
Well, we might kick that in the ass tonight because Mr. Nicholas Bader has a bit of news for the podcast that he'd like to share.
Bit of news, yep. Sorry, I was going to vape, and I started deep diving into something to do with now looking at Facebook on my laptop.
That's code for porn.
Trying to get up to your guys' level. Yes, Danielle.
Can you mute me for a second?
Okay. How's that?
Need to move it.
Okay. So what we've figured out in this version of housekeeping is that we now officially have our own Schnozzcast phone number that you can text or send pictures to.
Hopefully, or you can call and leave a voicemail.
You could call us and leave a voicemail. We're gonna have to set up our voicemail for that.
Yes, we will. It's not currently set up, but that is a to-do probably for tonight.
Yeah, I think right now it's forwarding calls to voicemail. We haven't put anything on there, but we're going to do kind of like a hello, probably. Hello.
I think you go up, not down, right?
No, the last one is hello. What's the lowest one?
No.
Yeah.
No, this goes back to like the 40s, Three Stooges. It's hello.
We won't get into that.
Now,
I know I wasn't alive during the 40s, but anyhow.
But you've heard of the Three Stooges, right?
No, who are they?
Okay.
So anyhow, we have a phone number now. We're gonna try it out. But the new Schnozzcast line, it's the Shocker line.
I feel like you need to change that.
It is called the Shocker line.
Now hold on.
I searched high and low.
We can't change it, and here's why.
I searched high and low. So I wanted to have like some sort of like anagram, in the number, right?
Anagram. I mean, you want to have something that, first of all, it had to be free.
It had to be a free number.
And secondly, it had to be something that people might remember.
Sure.
And given those two factors, the best that we could come up with.
Yeah. So
Shocker.
You can imagine that trying to, first of all, there are all these different texting programs that we can route through our phones. And most of these companies are like, hey, you got 3 numbers to pick from. You're going to be lucky if it's in your area code.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you can't do this, and you can't have phone calls, and you can't do this. So I was lucky I found a company that not only gave you a lot of numbers to choose from or whatever area code you wanted, but they let you spell out different things and see if it was available in the number. And most of it you would get like I could do like SCHNO. 34787 Schno. And I'm like, no. I'm like, how about Schnoz with 1Z? Not available. How about on air? Not available. How about air? Nope, not available. How about SCcast? Nope, not available.
Did you try Zizix?
No.
ZZY, ZZX?
No.
I'll bet that was available.
So
Come on, man.
Nothing was available. So
I
I'm
was
like,
not consulted.
how about boobies? Nope. Not boobies. So I'm trying to kind of model after the Drew and Mike show, who have the 27832 boner, which is their.
Is that still their line?
Oh
today?
yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
because it used to be the radio show line, and they're
I wasn't aware they still had it with their podcast.
No. The radio show line was something completely different because the radio show paid for a phone number for them to have people call in.
Oh, it wasn't a boner line?
No.
Okay.
So once they started the podcast, they're like, well, we're not paying for this. So
Corey, what are the odds that he searched for 376 Nick?
no, it didn't happen. But they did
I'm
have.
sure he did.
They did have.
He actually owns that one too as well. Well, let me get ahead of this game. And
For the price of one.
They did have another version of the boner line, but I'm like, no, we're not them. We're not doing that. So
Right.
the longest word, obviously a longer word is better. So you're not like 71432 and, you know? So we got shocker, and I thought, well, that was awesome because our number now.
The people in the chat room are probably like, what's the fucking number
Yeah.
already?
So our number now is 618 shocker.
that's a 313, correct?
No, it's
It's just 618 shocker.
618 shocker.
God damn it! I went through all that and had fuck.
What?
Did
You went
put,
through all.
did you put a 313?
How
in
many?
there? Why?
Corey, you have to count. There's only 10 numbers in a phone number.
I wasn't listening to what you were just saying.
Corey, you didn't have to listen to anything I said to know your entire life that there's only 10 numbers in a phone number. You don't have to listen to anything I say. Have you dialed a phone? So
Actually, I haven't dialed the phone in quite some time.
Wow.
So is it?
it's all preloaded
that
contacts.
is a true. Well, but at some point you had to put them in there.
Did you think it was Australia?
15 years ago.
So do we dial 734 and then 10 more numbers?
Have you gotten no new phone numbers in the last 15 years?
I've only had one phone number. Oh, my
Other people's numbers that you've had to add to your phone.
No, because people usually text you and say, "Hey, this is my number," and then I just save the number.
Lori said she was wondering why there were so many numbers.
See, thank you. I'm not the only one.
No, I think
It's corrected though, as you'll see on the screen.
yeah.
right,
So oh, you had it on the, oh yeah.
No, that's what I was at.
Oh, you had it on the screen, so I didn't look down. So did you have 734?
No, I had 313.
313.
313-618 shocker.
Oh
was
my
it-
god.
You
Just
just
313.
313 shocker.
No, so it's
I mean that would have been great.
No, I did
but
313-618 shocker.
That is so many digits.
I wasn't fucking paying attention to that.
oh god. Someone in Da Nang right now is getting so many pissed off text messages.
Hang me. They're gonna rope and hang me.
So yeah, 618 shocker is the shocker line. You can call, you can leave us voicemails about how you hate seeing the fact that Corey, Joe, and I now own the exact same shirt. Thankfully,
I'm sure
we
that's
haven't-
the first thing we'll get.
well, but new phone number. We'll try and get it going here.
Yeah, and as a disclaimer, if you do text us or leave us a voicemail, we do reserve the right to read it or play it on the air. So just keep that in mind. I think most people would assume that from like a radio show type of a call-in, right?
Yeah, and as Ken said, who's here in spirit, Corey will remember the shocker. So that's something he'll remember. I think everyone will.
Only when Ken gives it to me.
Oh,
The more I see it, the more I hear it. It is kind of growing on me.
yeah. Well, as shockers do.
They grow in you.
Oh God.
At first, it's a little tense, but yeah. So if you want to shock the cast with your question,
There it is.
Just give us a call on 618 shocker.
There it is.
So we'll set something up for that, and we'll set up some artwork. But yeah, that's the new booze news for our new number
Was that booze news?
or our new
I would
housekeeping,
put
whatever
that
you
in-
call it.
Yeah, I would put that in housekeeping. That's why I teed it
Yeah.
off to you. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty good. But we can do booze news.
Well, before we get into booze news,
Yeah.
I received a text message a couple days ago from a friend from long, long ago that I went to kindergarten all the way through high school with.
Leave the money at the church
And,
if you know what's good for you.
That's basically how it was all throughout kindergarten through 8th grade. But we'll refer to her as Punk. That's what my dad called her way back when she played street hockey with us and all that shit.
Okay.
but I opened this message and I wanted to share it with you guys. I asked her, ahead of time, obviously, if I could do so. But
She said no, and you're doing it anyway.
it took a little convincing.
Okay.
But the reason I wanted to share it was because this kind of really, it threw me off. And I came home and I even had to tell Danielle about it because
Dear Frank.
that's her brother's name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she said, "Hey, so I started listening to your podcast this week. I know I should have before, and I did once, and it didn't stick. Now it's stuck, and I'm sorry. And I started watching The Fear of 13, and I'm watching it right now, and only halfway through, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so good. Also, side note, today when I was listening to it, it kept me from needing my anxiety pills because I was on the verge of a panic attack, and it calmed me down. So that's very cool.
What calmed it down? Fear 13 or the podcast?
No, listening to us."
Oh, wow.
And so we started going back and forth.
Was I not present for the show?
When she also told me don't get a big head about
was
it.
I talking?
I have no clue. But dude, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
That and so after going back and forth with her a little bit, she said that's all she's been doing lately is listening to all of our old episodes. And she said she was going to come in the room tonight and watch live.
Okay.
But I just thought it was crazy that obviously we laugh and always have a good time and all that.
Yeah.
But she told me, she's like just your guys' funny banter back and forth. And she said it's absolutely hilarious. There was several times that she busted out laughing and spit water everywhere because.
Are you sure this is meant for you?
I'm pretty sure.
This wasn't someone talking about a totally different
This
show.
sounds like they're not describing some other show. Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was taken back by it too.
Right.
So she said that we're doing a great job. She absolutely loves listening to us, and that
Wow.
I never thought it would have that effect on someone, a calming effect like that.
That makes 4 of us, right?
So
And just to know that we are the equivalent of anxiety medication.
yeah, kind of cool.
I need anxiety medication. Like, I feel like just talking about it, I should pop some sort of anxiety pill right now. So I don't know what she's talking about because it couldn't have been during one of my stories.
Well, yeah, probably not. But
So I said it was probably me talking.
Will he just end it?
so we are having a reach of some sort out there. So just
I'm glad it's working for her. That's awesome to hear.
Absolutely. All right. So,
And now it's time for booze news.
okay, I got a short one and a little bit of a long one.
We know.
Thanks. So Valentine's Day is coming up. And if you're one of those people that doesn't have anything, a significant other, someone to buy something for Valentine's Day, or you just want to do something nice, there's a couple things you can do. Number one, there's a website called cardsforhospitalizedkids.com, and you can go on the website and make a virtual card that will be sent to a random child who's hospitalized, who needs a little pick-me-up, someone to tell them, Happy Valentine's Day, or you're the best, we're thinking of you, you're my hero, anything you want to do. So I thought that was pretty cool.
There's one for St. Jude, too. I did it today.
That's the second one I was going to do.
Wouldn't it be nice
Well,
if
actually, I take it back. It wasn't St. Jude. To tell your thing about, do you have a thing to say about St. Jude? Or
They just do the same thing. They have, I think there were 5 choices you could pick from. They're all cards that kids drew. And then if you can either put your own message or they have a bunch like a personalized one that you can choose from to pick on, put on it.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. They do it every year.
Timely.
Yeah.
These are things that I didn't know about because I just never had a reason to know, but it just happened to look it up, and I'm like, I wonder if that's a thing. And turns out it is. The other one that I was going to say was certainly for Michigan, mottchildren.org/Valentine is the CS Mott Children's Hospital website where you can send a Valentine to one of their patients. They're not designed by kids, but they're kid friendly, obviously, and it's all free. So it's a great thing to do if you're looking for, something to, give back or make somebody feel good. So that's the first. So the second one, a little bit longer. This is kind of a bit of a story, something that I found really kind of fascinating through National Geographic that I did not know. So let's kind of get into it. If there was such a thing as a friendly neighborhood military base, it would be Seymour Johnson Air Force Base near Goldsboro, North Carolina. It's been an unobtrusive jobs and money community asset since World War II. The good people of Goldsboro had no inkling that their local Air Force base had quietly become, in the 60s, so 60 years ago, as of this year, had become one of several U.S. airfields selected for Operation Chrome Dome, which was a Cold War doomsday program. Cold War doomsday program that kept multiple B-52 bombers in the air throughout the Northern Hemisphere 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I did not even know that existed.
That's pretty crazy.
At the time.
That's how many days there are.
Each of those planes carried 2 atomic bombs. So when our parents were, back in those days, they had 2 bombs constantly circling overhead at all times.
Makes sense.
Over the country. Bombers flying from Johnson Air Force Base in January 1961 would typically make a few training loops just off the coast of North Carolina, then head all the way to the Atlantic, to the Azores before doubling back. The B-52s are kind of gas guzzlers, so they had to be refueled multiple times during each mission. And it was following one of these refueling sessions that Captain Walter Tulloch and his crew noticed that their plane was rapidly losing fuel. So they began having electrical problems as a result. Tulloch briefly resisted an order from Air Control to return to Goldsboro, preferring to burn off some fuel before coming in for a risky landing. But soon he followed orders and he headed back. At about 5,000 feet altitude, approaching from the south and about 15 miles from the base, Tulloch made a final turn, and that's when the B-52 fell apart. The guy one of the guys who wrote a definitive book on the crash says that Tulloch had the B-52 lined up to land on runway 26, but suddenly the plane started veering off to the right toward the town of Faro, and that's when it started rolling over and tearing apart. A few weeks before that, the Air Force and the plane's builder, who was Boeing, had realized that a recent modification which fitted the B-52's wings with fuel bladders could cause the wings to tear off, which could be troublesome.
On a plane?
Yeah.
That'd be troublesome?
Tulloch's plane was scheduled for a refit to resolve this problem, but it would come too late. He knew his plane was doomed. So he hit
How?
Because they hadn't had the refit.
He came too late.
Okay.
Did you hear him?
And it started to come apart.
Gotcha.
So he hit the bailout alarm. Of the 8 airmen aboard the B-52, 6 of them sat in ejection seats. The third pilot, whose name was Adam Maddox, was assigned a regular jump seat in the cockpit. He was the youngest man on board at the age of 27. He was also an Air Force rarity, an African-American jet fighter pilot, reassigned to B-52 duty as Operation Chrome Dome got into full swing. At this moment, it looked like that chance assignment would be his death warrant. His only chance was to somehow pull himself through a cockpit window after the other 2 pilots had ejected. So it was a surreal moment. The B-52's forward speed was nearly 0, but the plane had not yet started falling. It was as if Maddox and the plane were, for a moment, suspended in midair. He seized on that moment to hurl himself into the abyss, leaping as far from the B-52 as he could. He pulled his ripcord on his parachute. At first, it did not deploy, perhaps because his airspeed was so low, but as he began falling, the welcome sight of an air-filled canopy billowed in the night sky above him. He prayed, "Thank you, God." Then the plane exploded in midair and collapsed to chute. So now he's just another piece of falling debris from the disintegrating B-52. Somehow, a stream of air slipped into the fluttering chute and it reinflated, and he was once more floating toward Earth. And again, he whispered, "Thank you, God." Then he looked down. He was heading straight for the burning wreckage of the B-52. So he said, "Well, Lord, if this is the way it's going to end, so be it." Then a gust of wind, or perhaps an updraft from the flames below, nudged him to the south. He landed, unhurt, away from the main crash site. After one last murmur of thanks, Maddox headed for a nearby farmhouse and hitched a ride back to the Air Force Base. Standing at the front gate in a tattered flight suit, still holding his parachute in his arms, Maddox told the guards he had just bailed from a crashing B-52. Faced with a man cradling a parachute and telling a cockamamie story like that, the sentries did exactly what you might expect a pair of guards in 1961 rural North Carolina to do. They arrested him for stealing a parachute. So the rest of the story I'll kind of gloss over because this has been kind of a long one, but they found two of the bombs intact on the ground. Their parachute open, so just floated down and was hanging from the trees. One of the tips of the bombs was barely dug into the ground. And no one from the town of Faro or the state of North Carolina knew how close they came to. I think it had more destructive power than all the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined.
I have heard that part of the story before. I didn't hear all the stuff leading up to that, but I have heard about those falling out of a plane and not exploding.
Yeah. Crazy. And
wow.
I didn't know that there was a story about a guy who lived and survived the crash who, on 3 separate occasions, thought he was going to die between the plane and the ground.
Oh, I mean, makes sense, I guess.
Was he the only one that survived?
No, they just the
Just
rest of them had ejection seats. He was just the one who miraculously, because he didn't have one, and he literally
Right.
leaped through a window to live. So the second bomb came to a more disastrous end. It plowed into the earth at nearly the speed of sound, sending thousands of pieces burrowing into the ground for hundreds of feet around. It was recovered. The bomb was recovered intact with its nuclear core uncompromised. And then consequently, the U.S. government reassured the public that the bomb had never come close to exploding, despite the fact that it was just really bad luck that it did not.
Of course it did.
Right. I mean, at that point, do you really have to assure anyone anything? Like, thank God it didn't. We're all alive. Let's just get past this.
But maybe it's a stupid question, but bombs like that are that severe and that serious, I mean, don't they have to have an activator? Isn't there something that connects, like that actually activates
Arms the bomb?
Activates or arms the bomb before they set them off? I mean, isn't there a button or something you have to press that, mixes the two parts of the resin that makes it?
Back in those days, no.
I mean, you would think that there would be some kind of fail-safe just in case they were shot out of the sky.
I would think
the world didn't blow up.
I would think the fail-safe, if they had any at that point, would be it actually getting tripped as it was dropped from the plane.
So I got an answer.
You see what I'm saying?
I got an answer to that. Like a bungee cord calculated to yank a jumper back mere inches from hitting the ground, the system intervened just in time to prevent a nuclear nightmare. Ironically, it appears that the bomb that drifted gently to Earth posed the bigger risk since its detonating mechanism remained intact. Robert McNamara, whose name we all should probably know, who'd been Secretary of Defense at the time of the incident, told reporters in 1983 that bomb's arming mechanism had 6 or 7 steps to go through to detonate, and it went through all of them but one. The bottom line is that the safety mechanisms worked. On the other hand, he said he knows of at least one medical doctor who was considering moving to Goldsboro, North Carolina for a position, but was concerned that it might not be safe because of the Goldsboro's broken arrow, which is the term for unexploded bomb.
Good movie, too.
So there's this continuing sense people have. You nearly blew us all up, and you're not telling us the truth about it. But the truth is that even though the government removed the primary nuclear device, attempts to recover other radioactive remnants of the bomb failed. So if you were to hold a Geiger counter to the ground of the cotton field on that spot, chances are it would register nothing unusual because dirt absorbs radiation. But about 180 feet below your shoes, the plutonium core of the bomb's secondary stage has a half-life of 24,000 years. So,
well, that's it.
There is that.
Wonderful.
These bombs weren't mere Hiroshima-class atomic weapons. They were Mark 39 hydrogen thermonuclear bombs, and each contained not only a conventional spherical atom bomb at its tip, but also a 13-pound rod of plutonium inside a 300-pound compartment filled with the hydrogen isotope lithium-6. If you think of it as a pipe bomb, the heat thrown off by the secondary device is the nails and shrapnel that make the initial explosion exponentially more dangerous. So,
quite interesting.
Yeah. Long one, but yeah, I thought it was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
That would have sucked, huh?
When you started out with, if you're alone on Valentine's Day and I'm the only one in the room for that, and then you say, Operation Chrome Dome. I'm like, dude, if you want to come out and just fucking tell me fuck me to my face, just fucking say it. Why do you have to just talk in code through your booze news? I mean, come on. But no, it turned out to be pretty good.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's booze news.
Operation Polish the Dome.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me throw this into booze news real quick.
Yeah.
Since Miss Lori Clark is in the room.
Okay.
Did some running around today, and I asked you for her number the other day.
Walking.
Yeah.
And I asked her about that dragon's blood incense that she uses.
Right.
And she told me where she goes to get hers, and she said, well, they're always sold out. So she's like, if you buy it and you don't like the scent, I'll buy it off you. So I did one better for her, and here you go, Lori. Got you two packages of sticks.
Just some sticks?
And the cones.
Twigs, they call them.
So you got 20 cones, and I don't know how many sticks are in each pack. But
I'm assuming that's the dragon's blood?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So Bob will have those for you.
That's
and,
very, very nice of you, sir. Thank you.
And if the ones I got I don't like, then you can have those as well, too. But
what did you get?
I got sandalwood and some of the dragon's blood.
Oh, sandalwood was the one that
Fuck yeah.
Greg was going on and on about.
Well, that's what I originally got with sandalwood.
Oh, so which one? Oh, you're saying if you don't like the dragon's blood because you've never lit it before?
I've never tried it. So, but those are hers, and you can take them to her.
Okay. Thank you, buddy. That's very nice of you.
No problem. Like I say, I didn't know they were in that high of demand. So when I saw them, I figured to pick them up for her.
That's pretty fantastic. Lori's going to get a great delivery of some hardwood sticks and some big sausages this week. So. What? That's true.
I was waiting. I'm like, here it comes.
That's true. I mean, come on.
Nick did bring some sausages for Bob to take to Lori.
Last week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be last week.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it will be tonight. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Oh, we all were.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what. If it's not, this house is going to be smoky as fuck between the sausages and the dragon's blood. So, yeah, that's exactly how I'll feel.
Right. This dragon's blood sausage is fantastic.
This is amazing.
Corey, you got a Funko?
I do. You are really going through these, Bob.
I just read a humongous story.
It was a really long story.
Yeah.
So this week's Funko, let me bring it up here for you guys, was just picked up today. From he was at Box Lunch, and Danielle can attest. I was very, very, very excited about this one.
So you got this, all the dragon's blood, the stuff for you, and the new vape thing, all today.
Yeah.
It was a productive day.
I saw your pimp today.
It was a very productive day.
So for the folks on the executive version, the audio version of this podcast, what are we looking at here?
This is a Slipknot Funko of Cory Taylor, one of my heroes.
Okay. And for those grandmas and grandpas out there, Slipknot is a band.
They are.
All right.
Most would consider them a band.
Wouldn't you say that this is the very literal definition of selling out?
No.
No?
No.
You wouldn't say that?
No. Why would you say that, Bob?
I look at Funko, maybe it's just me. I look at Funkos as being the equivalent of like a McDonald's toy, like that you would get in a Happy Meal.
Yeah, I would second that.
Yeah, so they obviously had to.
Dude,
no disrespect to Slipknot. I'm just saying they had to license their likeness for a
There's a
for
shit
Funko
ton.
Pop.
There's Kiss. There's
Well, Kiss are whores. They'll do anything for
Marilyn
it.
Manson.
Yeah, really.
Marilyn Manson now needs the money, so it's probably a wise move.
Willie Nelson.
I don't know if the Friends characters needed the money, though.
They don't own their likenesses. They're owned by the network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah, because they're just. They're
Corey Taylor
characters.
probably doesn't own his either, unless he's really, really lucky or
I would
had
say
a great business manager.
I would say he probably owns his.
Yeah, then this would be the. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, but wouldn't they at that point have to call it like Slipknot lead singer or something? Like at the bottom, they wouldn't be able to put his actual name.
I mean, someone either did sell the rights to it, or
Right. That's what I'm saying. He would have had to, for his name, he owns the right to his likeness of his name. Bob's, I think, correct in the sense that, like, you're not going to see a Funko from Friends that says Matthew Perry. It's going to say Chandler, Chandler Bing, because it's a fictitious person. And the company owns the rights to all the episodes and his likeness. So he was playing a character, so it's not really him.
Right, and but that is also the actual Slipknot logo that they use. So I mean, yeah,
right.
Funko got the rights from someone,
but they could have got the rights for the Slipknot logo from the production company,
most likely.
But to use his name, he would have probably had to say okay to that.
Yeah, but they have the entire band too, so they obviously.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe he's the only one who. They're all like Funkos, no thanks.
I don't know. I honestly think if you were to, because I've seen some interviews and heard some interviews from a couple of even the other band members that, they put on this real hardcore music and all that on stage, but off stage a lot of them that's not their actual portrayal in real life. So I could see a lot of them going, yeah, that's fucking cool.
Right, but we're not seeing a picture of like Corey Taylor mowing the lawn. We're seeing Corey Taylor in a Slipknot costume.
They're actually fantastic philanthropists. Yeah, in real life.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
I'm sure I would be. Well, that is cool. I did not. Honestly, if how many Funkos total are there? I'm sure it's in the tens of thousands, right?
A lot.
Easily.
If I were to be forced at gunpoint to sit here and write down as many as I could think of pop culture figures that were funkified, is that a word?
Sure.
Funkified. Slipknot would have been the last thing I would have wrote.
Oh, dude, when we went into box lunch today, and we were looking at the shelf, and I saw two of the other band members, and I told Danielle right away, I'm like, holy I'm like, if they have fucking Cory Taylor, I'm getting it right now.
And I said, it's literally right in front of you.
She's like, it's right. She's like, it's right there. I'm like, where? And it was right next to the one I was looking at.
Yeah, I would not believe what I was seeing either.
Oh, dude, I was so happy. So happy with it.
All right, well, that's
Funko This for this week.
excellent, sir. Let's do. You and I are gonna kind of 1-2 punch a little midnight burbling here. So going on the music theme from Slipknot, Danielle, Finn.
Yes.
The question from that I wrote down in the middle of the night here is, what's your most embarrassing music purchase?
Most embarrassing?
Music purchase. One that you might not advertise to everyone. I'll give you for example.
I don't know if I have one. I'm a girl. I think anything I would purchase you guys would think would be embarrassing. Like if you were to buy it.
No, this is embarrassing to you.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I have any though.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Everything you bought, you'd be like, no, I'd absolutely own up to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I listen to boy bands and stuff.
Yeah. Right. But did you buy something like anything you bought like on a, whether it was digital or like on CD form that was like an impulse and you're like, oh man, I really regret that purchase?
Not that I can think of.
No? Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
Let's go to Nick. Most embarrassing music purchase.
Embarrassing. I would say it was embarrassing at the time, not so much anymore. I've grown up and I really don't give a fuck anymore. But back in the day, I think it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing thing to buy, but it was when it first came out, the Friends soundtrack CD. So.
Okay, yeah.
It was right when it first came out. I mean, it was, I don't know why, but I remember going to like Harmony House or something like that.
Yeah.
And seeing, that's funny. And seeing it.
I've been to Harmony House.
I have too. It's just funny to hear it.
I'm go to Dearborn Music.
I'm actually pretty glad that I'm not I figured I'm the only one who knew about it, that you youngsters would be
Harmony
like,
House?
what?
Oh, no. We used to go to Harmony House.
All right.
But I remember it had like Toad the Wet Sprocket, Hootie and the Blowfish, the Bare Naked Ladies Shoebox, like a lot of those songs at the time that I really didn't appreciate much. And intermittently through the different songs, it would play clips from Friends.
Which is really the only reason why I bought it.
I mean, I bought it for the name Friends, yeah. And I didn't know any of those bands at the time. And now looking back at it, I was like, wow, those are all great songs. You know, like Shoebox and, you know, like I just said about Toad the Wet Sprocket and Hootie and the Blowfish. And I think like the Cranberries or someone was on there. But at the time, I had no idea who these people were, you know. Right. But it ended up being a really good CD. But like in the middle, you know, in between, it would play a little joke or something like that from the show, you know, that now I would appreciate much more. But back then I'm like, that I have no idea what this means.
Right. Cory?
Have you guys ever heard of a band called Aqua?
Yeah.
Wait, is that the Barbie girl?
Yeah.
I had that CD. Not embarrassed about it because I'm a girl.
But is it Cory's because what's his is yours, or you have your own copy?
No, I had my own copy.
I had the cassette.
Okay. What was it? A single, or did you?
It was no, it was a single.
A what? A single?
A cassette of like there's
just
one song on
Don't
one
just
side
make
and
up
then there's
words.
another song on the other side, like a side, B side, like a single.
No, I had the whole CD.
Okay, you bought it for Barbie Girl.
It was the only song on there, so fuck yeah, I did.
Did you?
Did I listen to it? Yeah, I fucking listened to it, Bob.
Were you dating someone where they're like, I love this song? You're like, yeah, I'll buy this because.
I think I was like 9.
I was say it was a long time ago that it came out.
I could just see like little Cory like shuffling all around. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Oh. I think that's when the dance first started for the Right Said Fred. I think that was the infancy of it.
When I get older, I'm going to take my shirt off to these kind of songs.
Well, I'm gonna make you feel good because I think I think I can beat that.
I'm gonna make you feel good because I can beat that. Huh?
I was at the dentist's office, and
So weird.
sitting in the waiting room, and they're playing the Muzak or whatever, and I heard this music and I had never heard it before, and it was just instrumental. There's no vocals or anything, and I'm like, well, that's weird. That's kind of cool. And then they got to before I got called back into the doctor's office, they said, "Oh, that's Bruno Hoffman on glass harmonica," and I'm like,
What?
So I went to Dearborn Music after I got out of the dentist. I bought the CD.
I thought it was going to be like,
I still
We're
it's
gonna-
in my music library today.
I would say we're gonna have to hear that after the show because
No,
I
you
don't,
really, if you really,
I want to now. Yeah.
Yeah, that it's incredibly embarrassing, and I don't know if I was loopy from the gas, but
probably.
Bruno Hoffman on glass harmonica.
I thought it was going to be something like some Kenny G or something playing, and you were like, "Oh,
No.
this is amazing!
No, because
This is fantastic."
it was an instrument that I'd never heard before, and I'm like, that's a weird
A
sound.
harmonica?
A glass harmonica. It doesn't sound like a harmonica. That's why. But now you said, I'm like, I wonder what that is, and they
Yeah.
showed
We're
me,
gonna
like,
have to hear this after the episode.
Yeah, they didn't just
it's-
call it glass harmonica. It wasn't
It's
like
on
the
my
name
phone.
of the album or
It's in
anything.
my library.
I don't doubt that whatsoever.
Could you imagine if you misplaced that? Oh fuck!
Sat on my fucking glass harmonica again.
It,
Like that
No,
seventh
they're like
one.
big. They're like bowls almost, aren't they? Or like
I
tubes.
honestly, I'd have to look it up.
I think.
Isn't a big glass bowl just a bowl?
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen the instrument before because
You've seen a glass harmonica?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure I have too because I looked it up at the time, but it was so long ago, I don't remember what it looks like.
could have just been the gas. He could have been sitting at home. Actually.
I could have been looping from the gas.
So some people chimed in on that. Lori said when she was in high school, she bought the soundtrack from the musical Cats.
Oh, that is embarrassing.
Why is that embarrassing?
Although the musical Cats is not like the movie Cats, so it's not as bad.
No, because that was back. That's from forever ago. I mean, the
Okay, so
You're
no,
old as
I
shit,
grew
Lori.
that was Danielle, not me.
no, my
Just so you're
aunt, my
aware.
aunt and I listened to Cats, the musical, the actual musical, not the
how-
stupid movie they
How
made.
old your aunt?
Well, she passed away.
Sorry.
No, she's
I'm
not
really sorry
that.
to be
She
laughing at
wasn't
your-
that old. She was in her 40s when she passed away.
Good job, Bob.
All right.
Anytime I hear cats
But
straight,
I would say she was like 15 years older than me, maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, there's no gussying up that pig.
Sorry, I don't think
is
it's
what it is.
embarrassing, Lori.
Kate Alice said Savage Garden.
And I owned that one. That's not embarrassing either.
no, that's not embarrassing. I wouldn't say that.
I love Savage.
Truly
Garden.
mad.
I would
Deeply,
consider it embarrassing,
right?
But that's just me.
Our own Mr. Todd Dillon said Vanilla Ice to the extreme.
Oh, that yeah.
No, I mean retrospectively maybe, but at the time I don't think it was embarrassing.
For Todd, yes, it is.
Oh, for why for Todd? What
Because
is that? What is that supposed to mean?
Because Todd's not a white guy, and Todd was listening to.
I'm sorry, I don't see people in color.
Todd is a scholar in the rap world. He had. I mean, I could list them all out. NWA, Eazy-E, he had all of those. He and Krabby were of the one mind.
Beastie Boys.
No, not even Beastie Boys. I mean, he might have dabbled.
Tried to slip one
But
back.
Vanilla Ice, yeah, that would be embarrassing if you knew Todd and knew his knowledge of rap.
And Gina said Justin Bieber, which is really kind of weird because he didn't come out that long ago. So that was more of a recent purchase, Gina.
Creepy.
Well, she's got a daughter, so maybe.
She's saying she bought it apparently because that's what the question was.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
his stuff now is better.
Okay, that's
It's
enough
not
of that.
embarrassing.
No.
Is it? All right. So
No.
sorry.
No, it needed some chilling time because Cory always purchases the Fireball that's kept next to the
hot Fireball?
boiler room. So, cheers.
All right. If you're out there and have something to drink, please join us. We're gonna do a shot. Here's to you. And after you do that shot, give us a call or a text at 618-SHOCKER.
That's right, 618 Shocker. Shock the boys with your questions.
Just so people know too, this is actually real. We have this number
Oh, we have it.
because
for
I
sure.
think
There's
a lot
only
of,
one way to find out.
I think a lot of people are like, okay,
Call the fucking number and leave it, or send us a text.
You can send us a text and you can send us pictures and you can call us.
No, you can't send us pictures.
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Oh, you just opened those floodgates, buddy.
There it goes.
Any-
He's the one looking at him, so fuck
That's
it.
true.
Oh, no.
Send whatever you want to 618 Shocker.
No, it's a spare phone, so you guys can look at it as well.
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Whatever you send
How are we all going to have
is fair game.
possession of
We're
one
not.
phone?
We're not.
We could.
Not happening.
Cory, you had something as well.
Ooh.
I wanted to dish it over to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, two things. One thing to touch on. You said about the Muzak. I did not realize every time someone mentioned that, I'm like, so this is just something funny they like to say. I didn't realize it's an actual music box that plays at like grocery stores, because we had one at Fairlane Mall.
Right.
Cory, I was going to say we had that.
I know. That's how I found out about it.
I just thought he said music.
It's just like a subscription service. Yeah.
Yeah, and it plays instrumental music.
Or Jerry Seinfeld.
I've never heard of it before. I thought you just said music wrong.
You thought I, double English major, mispronounced the word music.
You could have a slip up.
He has.
People
just
say
started.
words. I know, but people say words wrong all the time.
People say words wrong.
People do say
Come
words
on
wrong.
now, Danielle.
Remember Jerry? And he goes, "What is wrong with you people in Florida? Is it the white pants? Is it the heat? Is it the Muzak?"
I remember that. Yeah.
So when the silver fox would always say, "Oh, can you turn off the Muzak real quick?" I was like, "Oh my god, I fucking hate when she says that, because she's been hilarious." Muzak,
music, bitch.
And then I finally one day was working at dispatch, and I looked up the little thing. I'm like, "Oh, Muzak." I'm like, "It's the Muzak box." I'm like, "She's not being funny."
Bing.
Yeah.
I'm also not being funny by making fun of her.
I wish at that point she would have also explained 10-digit phone numbers to you as well. So, years ago.
You can only get so many things in at once. But what I had to add into all this, dude, oh man, I don't know why I'm going to tell them this. Danielle
That's a great way to start.
Danielle has roped me into watching a show.
No, why are you? You didn't have to tell anybody this.
You guys ever watch The Bachelor?
Cory has.
I'm familiar with it. I've never watched it.
Esque type shows. I've never watched The Bachelor.
Yeah, no, I've gotten stuck on this season of
He's
The Bachelor.
sucked into it.
Dude, Drew, from Drew and Mike, like all the time. He's like, those kind of shows. He's like, I watch every single one of them. He's like, they drive me crazy.
Dude, it fucking does. I sit on the couch. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm like, this. I won't even say some things I've said at home when I'm watching it.
Like he watches like The Bachelor, 90 Day Fiance,
Dude, it's fucking mind blowing.
Catfish, all that stuff.
These people are fucking insane.
Well,
it's a train write that you can't.
Exactly.
That's why I watch them all, because I can't help it, because it's good
like,
TV.
Guilty
what
pleasure.
kind of fuckery
It
is going to happen this week?
Mm-hmm. And that's basically what has happened to him.
I think I watched the first 4 seasons of Jersey Shore for that very reason.
Dude,
I could not believe that it could get any worse, and then it did.
Right.
And it's gotten so bad. She's like, "Oh well, there's a new Bachelor." I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna fucking see it." Fucking know what?
So yeah, now I've had to wait like all week for Thursday night to watch it with him, because he wants to watch it.
Well, that's the bright spot, right? It becomes something that as a couple you do, and
It's funny.
and you laugh about it, right? It's not anything I would be embarrassed about. It's literally
no, I would say
something
a
that
lot of my friends, their husbands, boyfriends, whatever, watch it with them. So
I thought you were going to say husbands, boyfriends were on The Bachelor. Yeah.
no.
It's just a normal thing.
Well, because I came home and she was finishing one episode, and I started picking up on some of the things that were going on with.
Well, I originally paused it, and I was like, "We don't have to watch this." He's like, "No, you can finish it."
Danielle.
if you want
Danielle.
to.
I guess so.
It's all right.
I'm like, now I need to know what's going to fucking happen with some of these hookers on this show, because
But
Jesus
you're
Christ.
watching one of my shows.
I don't care.
He goes to work. He's like, all right, let's see what Kate's doing on The Bachelor.
Well, it was funny too, because he's getting so upset, and I was like, "Listen, every season they say the exact same things. They act like they've never seen an episode of this before, and they can't understand why they feel the way they feel." And
Dude, I can't get roped into that shit. Like just watching like some of the previews and stuff, handing the red rose, and these people are fucking sobbing, and all this crazy shit.
Every fucking time the Bachelor's down to one fucking rose, you see it on the fucking show. It's a TV show, is it not? You see what's going on.
Are you yelling at me?
The fucking host comes out,
Chris Harrison.
pauses everything, and makes it known to everyone standing in the fucking room that can see there's one rose. He says, "Well, ladies, this is the final rose of the night." Puts his hands together and then goes off in the background.
Like, into the hedge, like into the
Basically, I'm like, "What?" Yeah, thank you, fucking Chris. We all got there's one rose left.
The Homer Simpson.
Yes.
I'll see you guys later.
Oh.
Is this like picking a scab for you? Like a tooth that's loose that you keep hitting with your tongue because it hurts so good?
I'll tell you what's worse than that. Cecilia was hooked for a while on the British version of that. But they all had like Cockney accents.
Oh, God.
Which made them sound, I apologize to all the folks across the pond.
Here we go. Hold on. Let's hear it.
Made them sound even dumber than
Let's
Americans. Even dumber.
How do they say it?
No, I'm not even going to try.
Oh, I think it's your turn for a nice red rosé.
No. That's too much shouting. It's like you're in the cast of Mary Poppins, like skipping over rooftops on your way to another chimney. These are normal people.
Those were normal people as well. Those were
actors. Those were characters in a Disney movie.
But there are parts of the
These
UK
are real
that
people
they talk like
that you could meet on the street.
Dude, you could do a lot worse than Dick Van Dyke, so just hold your tongue.
Oh, they were no Dick Van Dyke, sir.
Chimney.
By the way, did you see Christopher Plummer died?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah. So speaking of it,
Who is that?
He was in Sound of Music. He was
Captain Von Trapp.
Captain Von Trapp. Edelweiss.
Have you ever seen The Sound of Music?
Edelweiss.
Long time
I can't
ago.
believe you don't know Edelweiss.
I was like, I'm going to make you
it's
watch
right.
it if you haven't.
I just remember her
That is
spinning in
right.
the field. That's all.
Well, that's one part of the movie, but
That's
yeah,
the very beginning of the movie.
No, the hills are
That was what he-
alive. That I remember.
That's the very beginning.
Click.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember feeling like some of the lulls in the movie, like being like, oh my God, will this movie ever fucking end? It was one of those movies where my mom was like, I'm not going to turn on cartoons for my kids. I'm going to put them in front of the Sound of Music. And we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a
But
good
Mary
movie.
Poppins was fantastic.
That was also not a cartoon.
I know, but that was great.
Okay. So, Mary Poppins, Sound of Music.
Which, fun fact, well, no, horrible fact actually about Mary Poppins was Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Like best voice in the world, like commercials, everything. She was huge. Had that voice surgery, like to correct some issue on her vocal cords, and they completely fucked it up.
Yeah, she hasn't been able to sing.
And she said she went into this like deep dive state of depression, and you haven't heard from her in like 30 years. Could you imagine if you could sing that well and then couldn't do anything?
Yeah, because in the Princess Diaries, because she plays the queen in those movies, and she sings but like barely because that's all she could do because of her vocal cords.
I can't even imagine that. I mean, her voice was like angelic.
Speaking of angelic voices, Huey Lewis of the Huey Lewis and the News had the same problem.
Did he really?
It still has it today. Yeah, it's something with his ears where he can't. He doesn't know how to maintain pitch. I wish I could. I'll have to look up what the name of the affliction is, but he's been seeing doctor after doctor after doctor trying to figure it out, but he just can't. He can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put Huey Lewis on the same pedestal as Julie Andrews.
You bite your fucking tongue, sir.
I mean, she was the one that sang like the.
Yeah, and he's saying, "I want a new drug." I mean, I think there's no contest here. Back me up here, Cory.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
He talked about not needing a credit card to ride a train.
Yeah, the angelic voice of Back to the Future. I mean, I'm sure Julie Andrews did a movie that made as much money as Back to the Future, didn't she? Nope.
She made a lot more than that.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
You know how much money Back to the Future made?
Mary fucking Poppins?
Fuck Mary Poppins. I guarantee if I look. Can that be the title of the episode?
Fuck Mary
Fuck Mary
Poppins.
Poppins. I'll have to look it up too, but I guarantee that Back to the Future is
Probably.
running more cash. Yeah, there've been a couple of who else had there was someone else who lost their voice. Was it the lead singer of the Black Crowes?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
God, I'll have to look that up. Or you could text us at 618-SHOCKER with if you know the answer to that question.
Okay, so I know the answer.
Okay, what is it?
So to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair, Mary Poppins was one movie. So Back to the Future was a trilogy.
No, Back to the Future was a movie. Back to the Future Part 2 was another movie.
Okay, so
I'm just talking about Back to the Future, the movie.
just Back to the Future the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mary Poppins grossed $188 million. Oh, pennies.
Pennies
Or
in the
no,
dollar sign.
103 million. 103 million.
Oh my God.
Back
Back to the Future cost $103 million to make.
So Back to the Future made their budget was $19 million.
Okay.
Box office was $388.
Okay. So a handy 300% victory.
Well, I would say maybe 150%.
No.
But yeah, again, you've got, it's way more recent.
I don't know that.
Thank you.
Was a factor,
My
but-
point has just been made.
Okay.
Anyhow, Mary Poppins was fantastic.
Moving on.
It was the highest grossing movie of people skipping across rooftops as chimney sweeps that you're going to find out there today.
Yeah, for musicals, I would say it's probably
Right up there.
up there.
That being said, yeah.
Now, did
Cats.
Did Sound of Music make more than Mary Poppins?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a musical buff.
You just looked up as very similar.
I know. How much?
I know.
Like you just did.
I know I did.
This movie versus that movie. That's all we're talking
Oh,
about.
boy.
Oh, boy.
$286 million.
For Sound of Music?
Yeah.
Wow. I really feel like you need to give it another shot then.
No, fuck that.
Just one more shot, Nick. When did you see it when you last were you 9?
Maybe like 29. No, I'm just kidding.
His
No,
mom was
like-
sitting in front of the TV.
last week?
Like 11.
9 o'clock last
Yeah,
night.
I think enough time has passed.
the sad part was in my mind, I was trying to say an age that was recent, and it was like 10 years away. That's how unaware of my own age I am. I'm like, yeah,
You
just
were
like
approaching
yesterday.
a Cory,
Just yesterday.
a Corey-esque level of
Of knowing my
Lack
of,
of- yeah.
of age math. Yeah.
yes, age math, horrible age math.
Age math is hard.
It is.
All right, we got probably about 50 minutes. You want to do a Friends trivia
We can do that.
before we take a break?
Sure.
All right, so again, this segment is
Not called Friends Trivia.
it's called "Could This Be Any More Trivia?"
Could it be?
God damn it!
Come on, Bob.
Could it be capital B, capital E, any more trivial? Question mark. It is built off the Friends trivia skills of one Nick Bader, who
Yeah.
tries to show off like a bitch every week,
I didn't purchase this game.
and yet you can't wait to play.
And if you want to tell me how much of a bitch I am, you can always text me at 618-BONER. Or 618.
618 boner.
618. What the fuck's it called? Shocker.
Nick's
What is it
The
called?
boner line.
You picked it.
I did not pick it.
You absolutely picked
It
it.
picked me.
Nick secured a lot of numbers today.
618 shocker. Text me at 618-BONER later.
Jesus, roll the dice.
618 shocker.
Oh, I can't.
Well, if Cory would put it on the screen so I could read it.
Can't wait.
Red.
So are these ones he already read?
Yes.
Yeah, let's keep that separate.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Which friend is Catholic?
I would say Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to say question 1.
Question 1.
That was his question too.
This question 2 now.
Nope.
It's okay, honey.
I'm gonna
Math
throw
is
all
hard.
the cards at you in a second.
2 comes after 1.
When Phoebe, question 2.
There we go.
When Phoebe and Rachel decide to form their own clique, whom do they want to take with them?
Joey.
Yes.
2 Joeys.
Question 3.
We could be doing Danielle's word box, but we're not. You'd think
No,
she'd
that's
be a little
a
bit
that's a
happier.
segment that we've retired.
We have, but this is better, right?
This is better.
Well, you sound a
Except
little
for
salty.
when I'm being ridiculed.
I'm not breaking. I'm giving you pointers and helpers.
Well, anyways, question 3. Which one of the guys once wore a goatee?
A goatee. Chandler.
Yes.
I knew that one.
Everybody knows it when I get it right.
Question 4.
there we go.
Who was the first friend to console Rachel after her breakup with Paulo?
Rachel with Paulo. Ross.
Yes. Question 5. Which friend was bitten by a peacock?
A peacock.
We're starting to get more and more dramatic with these, Bob.
I swear to God, I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
And here it comes.
Wait a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Joey's friend's aunt's cousin's uncle.
He's so stumped.
I don't know. No bullshit.
Beard stroking. That usually helps. The knees jackhammering. That usually helps too. Do you want like a lucky rabbit's foot rub on or something like that?
Rachel.
Chandler.
Damn it!
The question's got one.
Just missed a perfect score.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're putting the. I love that scoreboard thing. I rarely look at it when we're going live. So every time I look over it, I see it. I'm like, this makes me feel good. I'm like, that's awesome. We got to do more with that. There's got to be something else we could do with it.
I'm sure there is. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, maybe when we look at that other game we haven't opened yet, there'll be something we can leverage it for.
That works.
Or if you have any ideas on how we can use the scoreboard, you can send us a text or MSS. What is it called? MMS message, right?
SMS, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, there's multimedia, whatever. They have an MMS and an SMS message, I believe, right?
We'll get back to you after the break.
I think so. Anyhow, to 618 shocker.
I feel like this is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. I just need to
Despite
not say boner anymore.
Has that phone gone off at all yet?
Just a couple times.
Yeah, really?
Just updates for the phone, though.
Nothing due to the number, just the phone itself.
All right. Okay, we're going to try to pull it back together here, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We've got a little bit of hold music going on here. 15 minutes, we'll come back with part 2 of episode 111, and we'll do a little gentleman's agreement.
And we'll have someone joining us.
We will, Mr. Todd Dillon.
And take a listen to some of our celebrity friends that have called us and talked about the
Absolutely.
Schnozzcast.
The list keeps growing. We'll see you soon. Second half of episode 111 for Schnozzcast. Thanks for sticking with us. We are going to bring in Mr. Todd Dillon here in just a second and get into a little bit of gentleman's agreement. Okay. I did want to say congratulations, gang. We just got our badge from Podbean for 5,000 downloads.
Woo!
Yeah, it's a huge number given the rinky-dink nature of what we've got going here and how we've piecemealed together since we started. But it's a testament to everybody in the room. So congratulations, everybody.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
5,000 downloads from Podbean.
Yeah, from Podbean alone. I mean, doesn't count Apple Podcasts, doesn't count Spotify, doesn't count any of the other stuff, but just from Podbean. Yeah. And, you know, it's always a tough thing when you start talking about, you know, the audio podcast versus the Facebook Live and, you know, all those things. For anybody out there who's new, you know, we're available on a couple of different mediums. So what you're seeing right now on Facebook Live is also available on audio to listen to whenever you want. You can go back and you can listen to us going all the way back to episode, if God help you, you really were interested, all the way back to episode number 2. So, you know, it's an interesting, I always found it interesting because it's kind of a document of what we've done to build the show up to what it is today, which was not necessarily like a walk in the park. Like it was a lot of learn as you go, make mistakes, learn from that, continue to grow. So congratulations to everybody here. And thanks to everybody who's listening. We couldn't have done it without you. And hopefully we'll get to the next big milestone together.
I mean, that's roughly, if you think about the math of it, you know, for how long we've been doing it consecutively for almost 2 years, that's like 10 downloads a day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty fantastic considering that, you know, we're not putting out content every day.
Right.
So 10 downloads a day, that's pretty good. 70 a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty. It's when you think of it in that mindset.
On average,
yeah,
for sure.
So
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
Make you feel
congrats,
good.
guys and gals.
And thank you to everybody out there who's listening.
So much.
Listening or watching.
Thank you.
All right. We got Todd sitting in the room.
every day.
We do.
So downloads
Hello.
a day.
Todd, you got to turn your computer off.
Good.
The volume off on the live.
You there?
There we go.
Todd?
Is Todd in your kitchen?
Say something, Todd.
All right, that's our man in the street, Mr. Todd Dillon, ladies and gentlemen.
Interviewing a mime at
He's
the moment.
actively playing he's playing a game of canasta with his other friends right now.
All right, you may have to mute him until we can figure this out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while Cory's doing that,
Hang on.
Yeah.
Wait. Todd, say something.
Street, Mr. Todd Dillon, ladies and gentlemen.
He must not be able to hear
I
you.
was- he can't hear us.
He's playing.
he did text. Okay, you got to
Yeah. Take it out, figure it out.
He did say someone's got to call me, and I'm like, why would we need to call him if he's coming on the video? Didn't we do this through Switcher last time?
Yeah.
We did, several times. We've brought him in through Switcher.
But he may be doing something different on his end, like he may be going through his Rodecaster Pro, his mixer.
Oh, I do think he's been trying to do that.
So, I guess text him, Cory, and see if he wants us to just do audio. We can call him. We can one of us can connect our phone to the mixer and do it that way. You just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. And let him know if he can't get a hold of us, he can get a hold of us on 618 Shocker. Because we're always there.
I don't know about you guys, but we got a lot of snow last night in the Metro Detroit area. And,
It was a shocker.
That was a shocker, yeah. And I, because of the shoveling today, I'm all hopped up on turmeric right now. So,
Wow. Did
Yeah.
you just smoke a little smoky?
2,000 milligrams. My
Oh,
friend.
my goodness.
Yeah. The recommended daily allowance.
I
of
noticed
turmeric.
you were leaping around all nimbly bimbly.
It was like Dick Van Dyke leaping from rooftop to rooftop.
Yeah, like a cat drinking milk from a saucer.
Very cat-like. That's me.
I knew it.
Yeah. So, Danielle, did you guys were you able to avail yourselves of the snowblower?
He used a shovel.
No snowblower.
I don't know why he didn't use a snowblower.
Do you own a snowblower? Okay.
What kind of life insurance policy do you have on him?
I don't have one.
Well, you should probably think about it.
Yeah.
We're not married.
Common law. You've got one more year for common law, right?
You have to live
You have to
together.
live together for
Oh,
that long.
okay. First,
Yeah.
okay.
But just keep in mind, as you move forward in the relationship, he's worth more dead than alive.
Well, yeah.
That's why. That's why you need.
Here
the
we go
life,
again.
That's why you need the life insurance policy.
Do you have one?
Danielle.
No, I don't have
No,
a
you
fucking
have to
life
take
insurance
one out on
policy.
him.
Danielle.
Why? I have stuff through my work.
No.
No,
You need
no.
a policy on him, not
On
on
him.
you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, Danielle,
What?
all kinds of nicotine, all the time. History of heart disease. Fish sticks every night.
Oh God, yeah.
Constantly.
They're air fried though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they're pretty healthy, I guess.
But they have something they call blanching, which is they take things like that and they pre-fry them first, so they have that crisp, and then you put them in the oven. And like, oh, we're not even frying them. Well, that's why they're 30 grams of fat a piece, because we pre-fry them or blanch them. So they're fish sticks every night.
Yeah.
And I worked with him. So I'm
It's a
telling
ticking time bomb, Danielle.
I'm telling you, it wasn't air fried anything during the day.
I've seen the meals he purchases to bring to work.
Not just the meals he it's the quantity of meals.
Yeah.
I
All
know.
the time.
Yeah.
Constant. And then
I'm not surprised you can make it through a 2-hour podcast.
what we do for the podcast. So that blood pressure and heart rate.
Oh,
The
trust
heart
me.
rate is really low, which when the heart rate's low and the blood pressure is high, that is the stroke heart attack area. So then you add the sedentary lifestyle, and then trying to shovel snow.
You are hitching your wagon to a winner.
You better get that policy soon, very, very soon.
I did just fine last night.
We love Cory to death.
Yeah.
One of our favorite people in the world, obviously, but yeah, very soon.
You got to call it like you see it.
Take that shovel and break it in half.
Yeah, he needs the snowblower. Absolutely.
I told him to use a snowblower.
So what's the problem with the snowblower? Needs
Nothing.
gas?
No, it's
It's
battery.
electric.
Okay. So, you lost the cord? What happened?
No, it's
No, what happened?
doesn't
You opted not to use it?
Well, yeah, it was 11 o'clock at night.
Doesn't matter.
Not gonna even turn on an electric snowblower and start that up.
Why?
And wake up the neighborhood.
Look,
Why my mom's did at 2:30 this morning.
Hold on.
Part of being a homeowner, co-homeowner, is to not give a fuck what anybody else thinks.
And then on top of that, the shoveling just cleaned up the driveway better.
So I have an electric snowblower.
Yeah.
Which I completely regret getting when I first purchased my home. I honestly thought, because I have like an electric like leaf blower and all that good stuff, but electric in my mind was battery operated. So when I bought this one, I'm like, this is amazing. It's got a headlight on the front. It's all battery operated. This is great. And then I got it, and it's like, why is there a plug outlet on this thing? I'm like, dude, I'm going to walk up. It's electric corded.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, this is a battery. It's like
It has
a
a battery.
Ryobi.
I mean, that would be amazing. So the mine is literally like plug-in, like the old school Edgers. And
Mine is a plug-in to start, but it runs on gas. You just need to get it started.
but literally like
Electric
the
start.
no.
exactly.
So the normal snowblower, gas powered, 2-stroke or whatever, would be like, super loud. This thing is like,
That's how mine
that's
sounds
it.
like.
It's like a snow thrower. It's not even a snow
You
blower.
always struck me as someone who would have an auger, someone who would have like something that's way too much for your driveway.
One pass, all done.
No, I have
exactly. Yeah,
We have an auger
like
to go
a 7
fish.
feet wide.
We have an auger to go fishing.
You understand what I'm talking about? Like a heavy duty up north. Like
I don't know if they call that an auger.
I thought they did. I could be wrong.
An auger is
The
the
auger-
giant drill that you drill down into the ice.
But that's the
There's-
blade.
there's an
That's the
auger
blade
in
that
the-
goes
yeah, there's
in
an
the
auger
snowblower.
in the snow. Yeah, but they don't call the whole unit an
Well,
auger.
I'm referring to it as by the blade type.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah, no, I mean mine has
Where
one of
if
those
you
blades.
lived up in Munising or something like that, that's what you would have, because every time it snowed, you would get like 6 feet of snow.
Oh, my dad and my neighbor, who's like 48.
Over there, apparently,
Yeah,
somewhere.
48, a female lives by herself, has like a snow blower
The chase is on the left.
that has fucking tires that are, like up to my knees. And she's like, oh, this thing's hard to control. And I'm like, really? You could put a seat on that fucking thing. And I'm like with my cord going down the driveway, like with my snow thrower.
Why don't you trade her?
Yeah.
That's Nick had one of those. He bought one.
No, I
when he
didn't.
when my cousin Nick.
Oh, okay.
When he lived next door to us.
Yeah.
Still not the biggest driveway in the world, but he bought this double auger snowblower that had a headlight. Everything had remotes on the right by the levers, so you just had to hit to turn the chute. It electronically turned it.
Well, he was making that sweet law money.
Well, now I'm thinking the driveway he has now, you could sneeze and it would be shoveled. So
It is very right.
so now he's.
His property is much wider than it is.
Right.
The funny thing, my other neighbor down the street, who also has a pickup truck like I have. So yeah, my snow thrower, snow blower does not match the penile compensation of my pickup truck that you would think. I know what you're trying to say. Like, I would imagine you'd have this giant one that is like a tractor and all this.
With your predilection for gadgets and things that are probably overkill but very entertaining, and it kind of scratches that itch that you have for technology. I just assumed that you would overdo it on the snowblower.
And I would if I had more money. Like last year, I didn't get the snowblower out once last year. This year, this is the first time it came out.
Yeah.
So for me to be like, okay, in 2 years' time, I literally just went to Lowe's the other day, and there was not one of them. I mean, even like very small looking gas ones that was like below $1,000. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, dude. I could get a 4-wheeler with a shovel on the front of it for the amount of money. I mean, the guy 2 doors down that has a pickup truck literally had a camo 4-wheeler with a big plow on the front of it. He's like driving up and down the fucking street. I'm like, yeah, that's more or less what I would be going towards instead of a fucking giant hand truck. Like Alan Christensen was saying, like, he's like, get a real snowblower. I have one with heated grips.
That would be amazing.
Well, that'd be fantastic, but it's like, okay, this thing is huge. Where do I fucking put this?
Yeah.
So let's try this again. And
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was going to ask you what's
Bring
wrong,
in
Todd.
Mr. Todd Dillon.
Can you hear me?
There, buddy? We can hear
I'm
you.
here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is it better?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you great.
Todd, get out of the bathroom.
All right. Is he? Keep talking, Todd.
I say you got to turn.
Am I still a lot of echo?
No. Your echo's fine. Bob's got to turn you down in the mixer a little bit because you were coming through
You're louder than you were last week.
hot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hot. No, you're good.
No, it's not your
Okay.
fault. Say something now, Todd.
Hello, hello, hello.
Fucking
That is-
perfect,
that is it.
beautiful.
Yep. Give us a little chocolate salty balls, will you?
Ooh, suck on my chocolate salty balls.
Phenomenal.
Stick them in your mouth and suck them.
Fantastic. That's a great sound check. We're just going to do that phrase, those two bars for sound check every time.
Perfect.
All right. Just a couple of quick things, Todd. I want to go back to the Midnight Burbling. So, most embarrassing music purchase, you said in the chat, Vanilla Ice.
Yep.
Is that okay? And I tried to. I don't know that I was defending you as much as I was emphasizing the embarrassing factor of it, because my viewpoint was that you were a student of rap. That more so than I think you and Krabby are the two guys that I really put on kind of on that level as far as old school rap, and having really kind of an encyclopedic knowledge of it. So the fact that you had Vanilla Ice, I thought really kind of upped the embarrassing factor, because it's not like if it was me that had Vanilla Ice, it'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But Todd, I'm like, oh, that's a. Oh no! Todd's starting with NWA. Todd's going back all the way back in the day, and continually. I mean, I can't. I don't even know how many rap CDs you owned at one point.
So too many, but in this particular instance, Bob, Nick was right. It didn't matter that Vanilla Ice was a white guy. It was just he was a one-hit wonder of a song that really wasn't any good, and he stole half the stuff for it. So, I was originally a Beastie Boys guy. You gave me no credit on Beastie Boys.
I did not. Well, I
tried to bring it up, but
Yep,
did.
Nick was
I
right.
love the Beastie Boys, but I'm a white guy.
No,
I'm like-
I saw the Beastie Boys before they did rap at the Budweiser Superfest many years ago. Okay. And I saw them before they started touring with Run DMC.
Was that their first tour, or I thought their first tour was them like opening up for Madonna?
I'm not sure which one it was, but like I said, they still hadn't kind of flipped the script to go to rap alternative, and they hadn't toured with Run DMC when I saw them. They were still a punk rock band.
so they were like a version. Is that what you're trying to say?
They were that.
Gotcha.
They were
Understood.
that.
Damn it! Said the country music fan.
Absolutely.
All right.
So you were right, Nick.
Can't hear that enough, Todd.
Oh God. Todd, you and I have to have a conversation about that later. You can't
If you're going to keep coming on, Todd, we can't just keep feeding Nick's
throwing,
ego all the time.
Throwing wood on that fire. Yeah, you can't keep doing that. Okay, was there something from your Midnight Burbling thing? Was there something you wanted to throw back to him?
No, that was the Bachelor that we covered.
Oh, okay.
That was the Midnight Burbling.
Todd, are you and Mary kind of? Do you have a guilty pleasure TV wise that you're indulging now, like the two of you, like something along the lines of The Bachelor, something like that? That
No, so I put in the chat my guilty pleasure, and I got to blame Tim Sharp for this, but Love After Lockup.
oh
Yeah, I did see that in there. That was.
okay,
I knew we were going to have him on.
It's a train wreck after a train wreck after a train wreck.
gotcha. You cannot look away.
I think, well, it's not the same thing, but I also can't look away from ridiculousness. I could watch that 24 hours a
ridiculousness
day.
is fucking amazing.
No,
Cory
I
loves
can't.
ridiculousness.
Cory and I have had this conversation before. I can look away from ridiculousness because
Yeah,
the
I can.
fact that the dude dresses like he's
Thank you.
19 and he's actually like 44.
And I'm sorry that I said that to you before.
What? Said what to me?
Because I initially told you, I said, "What? This show annoys me."
Yeah.
When we were at the bar one night, I said, "The show annoys me because the guy looks like he's approaching 50 and he dresses like a young man." And you're like, "Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Did
maybe."
I defend him?
No, you were on the fence. You were on the fence, and
okay.
I think I said it a couple more times.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Dude, he looks like." No offense to him, I'm like, he looks like Patrick from Ray's, like trying to wear young people clothes. And ever since, you're like, don't want to watch this. Can't stand it. Like,
So are you
I
taking,
feel like I have to
you're
plant
taking
the
credit
seed.
for me not liking ridiculousness? That was the seed that you planted?
A seed that I planted at a place that you never remember things. So yes, I am taking credit for that.
See, and I don't
'Cause that
mind
was always
it.
my
Only
pet peeve.
Cory would know if that was true or not.
Yeah, it is kind of true. But
Oh, fuck.
I did.
but we
used to say
went
that.
the trip that we took up to Oscoda.
Yeah.
We did have ridiculousness on for the entire weekend in the cottage
Where?
in Oscoda.
The year before.
year
not last
before.
year,
Oh,
year
I'm like,
before.
We were
No,
not there.
No.
Oh,
When-
God, I was a lot more drunk than I thought.
Yeah, no, it was on for literally the entire weekend from the Friday we got up there until
Yeah,
the
it was
day
like a
that we left.
marathon. or
Jigga
something.
jigga jigga dance.
Which I don't mind watching it. It's whatever her name is. I can't stand her stupid laugh.
Chanel West Coast.
That's what Mary complains about.
Oh my God, I hate her. I want to punch her in the throat.
So this was supposed to be a romantic couples weekend between you and your man, and ridiculousness
it
was
wasn't
playing.
romantic. Don and Angie
John
were
and
with
Angie
us.
were there.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty romantic.
All right. Okay. So
Yeah,
was
for
it
what?
was it meant to
That is
take
the
your mind
best.
off of your company then, or
Isn't it
It
romantic?
was just something to have on, like, in the background.
okay?
I
That-
just can't
that
stand
you
her
hated.
stupid laugh.
So it was something that you hated.
No, I don't
Playing in
mind
the
watching
background.
the show. I don't like her laugh because I don't like
But that's
her.
part of the show.
I know.
She laughs a lot, from what I've heard.
I know.
Okay, so it was something
She
in the
does.
background for the entire weekend that you hated.
No, I just don't like her. I like the videos that they show and everything,
Okay.
but I don't like her.
All right.
They could just cut her out. I'd be much happier.
If they only would.
Oh no, sounds like a cat fight.
All right. Todd, I got to start with you again, sir. You're a goddamn good luck charm. So, gentleman's agreement. Cory, cue the artwork.
Okay.
Todd, what'd you have to watch? Did we lose Todd?
He's talking, but nothing's coming through.
All right.
So, Bob, could you explain gentleman's agreement for people that have never been in the room?
Absolutely. So, gentleman's agreement is something that came. It sprung from the notion that some of us watch a lot more TV and movies than others,
Yeah.
and now and again we would recommend something, and people would go like, "Yeah, okay, I might look at that," and they would never watch it. So we decided to do the thing on the podcast called Gentleman's Agreement, in which we would take turns making recommendations and giving each other homework assignments to watch 2 hours of something, whether it was 2 hours of a TV series on something like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, or a 2-hour movie. And the only rules were that you had to have seen it and you had to have liked it to the point where you would recommend, you think that the other person would like it too.
Uh huh.
So I might have a different recommendation for Nick than I would for Danielle. And I personally have a list in our little OneNote doc for the podcast that we keep, where I have things that as I think of them, as I see them, as they come across my field of vision, and I'm reminded of them, like I'll put it in the notes going like, oh my God, I hadn't thought about that. Every week I put something in there going like, oh, Danielle would really like that, or oh, that's something that I really would think Cory should see. And if you get lucky enough to draw the other person in a Excel random formula type of way, then you'll assign it to them, and they have to watch it before the next week, and then give a brief review, a brief synopsis of the plot and what they thought. And that's Gentleman's Agreement.
Awesome. So, shows we liked, or TV shows we liked, or movies we give to each other. Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you for encapsulating in 10 seconds what I took me.
I'm
90 to say.
never that succinct. So,
Except for just this once.
so we're gonna start with Danielle.
We can.
Is that
We
cool?
lose Todd. That's fine.
All right. So,
Cory's working on that. So in the meantime,
It's on Todd's end. I don't know what to tell you.
okay. So Danielle, what did you have to watch?
I had to watch The Servant or whatever
on
Sounds like it made a big impression.
Apple TV.
on Apple TV, which from an assignment that you guys had given me, I actually purchased an Apple TV account.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Did you? I
I
didn't
did.
know you had an Apple TV.
I don't, but I have iPads and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So
All
if
right.
as long as you have an Apple ID,
Yeah.
you can purchase the app for your smart TV.
I did not even know that. That's great
Yeah.
news.
Yeah.
I can watch. You can watch it on your phone too. I have the
So
app on my
so
phone.
I purchased the
Okay.
Apple TV Plus, and I can watch it on my TV up in my room.
That's great. So so anything that's on Apple TV Plus right now, you're paying month to month.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Danielle. Go ahead.
That's okay. I didn't know if I was gonna make it past the first episode because it was very strange.
Okay. In 30 seconds or less, what is it about?
It's about a family who hires a nanny to watch their child, but in the first episode, the child is a doll because the child passed away. It's really weird.
Like Pinocchio?
It's like it's a plastic baby doll. It was recommended by
That's
the
fucked up, man.
mother's psychologist or psychiatrist to help her cope with the loss of the baby.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of weird things that start happening once this nanny moves in.
Yeah, there's like companies that so as there are companies that make those like sex dolls, like real dolls and things like that. There are also companies that make like born again dolls.
Yeah, it was really creepy looking.
That are very, very realistic infants for mothers that have miscarriages and things like that. And sometimes they're
Wow.
recommended to these mothers that have like withdrawal symptoms and things like that after losing a baby to keep, not like talking to a pumpkin in a bassinet or anything like that.
But if they're not ready to let go,
yeah,
Yeah.
I
as
didn't
part of
even
their
know that was a
therapy.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And for other reasons, hopefully that I never find out why people purchase these, But yeah, they are very realistic and made of like
Almost like a waxy.
but they have like the rubbery skin latex, like
Yeah.
all it's very realistic with the implanted hairs and all that stuff. I mean, they look
Okay.
Like
really,
a baby.
really real. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. It's very interesting.
Okay.
So how many episodes did you get through?
4.
You got through 4. Creepy, weird.
30,
Yeah.
30 minutes each?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I didn't think I was gonna make it past the first one until the very last scene, and I was like, God damn it! Now I gotta watch it to find out what the hell happens.
Oh, it bachelored you in.
Yeah.
So
Well, what kept me interested
Mm-hmm.
was that there's a character in there who he was in Harry Potter, so I was like, well, all right,
Yeah.
I guess I'll watch
Rupert
it.
Grint, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't find out till a little bit later because obviously he's much older, and he's speaking with like a westernized.
Oh yeah, he has an American accent.
And it's really weird.
He does sound very weird. I mean, I knew who he was right away.
But every now and then you hear it slips a little bit.
yeah, he said something in the last episode, and I was like, that's not the American way to say it.
Exactly. But yeah, I feel the same way. I kind of was tugged along by Rupert Grint as well. I was a big Harry Potter person. I binged on a lot of those shows. I didn't know it was him, but I was kind of torn when I first started watching it. It was also directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This show.
He of Sixth Sense fame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Rupert Grint from Harry Potter, M. Night Shyamalan. I thought I had high hopes for this, And
Did you finish it?
no, it was kind of a last minute pick for you.
Okay.
It wasn't something that I was kind of full forward ahead behind, But it was weird enough that I thought, okay, the first 4 episodes are definitely going to throw her for a curveball because it was like it wasn't something like I felt the way I felt about like Lost or something like, holy fuck, it hurts so good, but I want to keep watching it.
Yeah.
It was like, this is fucking weird, but I kind of want to see where it's going.
Right.
I really haven't returned to much. I think I watched a season or 2 or something like that.
Okay.
All right. So
Who's next?
So it looks like Todd is working on the problem. Like I said, Corey, if you want me to call him, I can call him instead of doing the video.
Yeah, he says, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead and call him.
All right. Nick, do you want to go next while I'm trying to connect to the?
Yeah, I can go next.
Okay.
So the one I had, who gave me that? Was it you, Cory?
What was the title?
Was the one with Seth Rogen?
Oh, this is the end.
No,
that was
was
Todd.
This is the end. So
Yep.
I feel like you should hurry and get Todd on the phone for my review.
I'm trying to connect.
This is the end. You're okay. I'll just call Todd on mine. Is that okay? Can I
connected?
Bluetooth?
Yeah, Bluetooth connect.
Okay.
Maybe that's why mine can't connect.
Roadcaster Pro, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, yep, I am now.
Well, that explains it.
So, but I was not connected before.
I'm just going to turn my Bluetooth off. Go ahead.
So we'll call Todd right now and we'll do our review. So yeah, mine was what was it called again? I'm sorry.
This is the end.
This is the end.
Yep.
Hey Todd, I was just gonna give you're loud and clear by the way, but I was just gonna give my review of what you gave me. This is the end.
You there?
All right, let me hear it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh, dude, it sounds so much better on the mixer.
dude,
That's fine.
We'll get it figured out.
when I started out watching this show, this movie with Seth Rogen and everyone you can possibly think of, all kinds of actors, Kevin Hart and all the guys from all the buddy movies, what was it?
I mean, a lot of those guys they've all been in different movies together, whether it was Pineapple Express or Superbad.
Superbad, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
All the guys from Superbad and everything like that. So, but when it first started out, I'm not huge on buddy movies, so this was kind of a let's get every buddy movie in the world and like fuck you in the ass. I mean, I'm surprised like Will Ferrell.
Can we just stop the review right there? That would be fantastic.
I'm surprised Will Ferrell wasn't in it, and everything, but I thought it was impressive that they got that many actors together to make this movie. And I'll be honest with you, it threw me for a fucking loop. When it turned into an End of Days like movie, I thought it was just going to be
spoilers for sure. Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a stupid retard fucking buddy movie like
It's called This Is the End.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's vague.
It's pretty vague. And I thought, they're smoking pot all the time. They're in LA. They're playing themselves, which was interesting, but it was nothing crazy. But when all of a sudden it turned into an apocalyptic movie, that's when it caught my attention. I thought, okay, this is probably going to be corny still, but I'm listening, know.
Right.
And I thought that the movie started out very, very weak and became very strong. Interestingly strong and also comedically strong. And I thought it was almost tantamount to, how Tenacious D came up with the greatest song in the world in their music video and everything. You're like, how is Jack Black even thinking of this shit? I mean, these lyrics and everything are just so fucked up, and there's a giant demon and everything like that. And
yeah.
I mean, it kind of paralleled with that, where you're like, what is Seth Rogen? I mean, how many drugs is he doing that he comes up with this? Because my sober mind, my drug
I think you just described the problem, that why you could never come up with that, because
I'm not going to even say sober, but without drugs, mind
whacked out of his mind.
could never figure any of that out. But three thumbs up, I would say, and I only have two hands, so you figure out the rest.
Well done, Todd.
What about that Danny McBride?
Well, why does he all of a sudden sound like he's in a fish tank?
I don't know. Todd, whatever you did to your phone.
I didn't do anything on my phone.
Oh, there you are.
now
Okay, now you're back.
Now we're hearing you on the mixer.
Okay.
Now that you're close to your microphone, I can hear you.
Oh, I should get closer to my microphone.
There you go. Okay.
All right, I'm in.
Sorry,
I'm in.
Sorry, what were we going to say, Todd?
I said Danny McBride eating all the stuff and drinking all the water.
Yeah, I didn't. What was he? So I didn't understand that part, because I mean, I recognized his voice, but what was he from?
He was in Eastbound and Down that I had to watch last week.
I've never seen.
Right.
He's also been in, I mean, you name it. He was in, Alien Covenant. He was the pilot. What other films? He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He has been in a bunch of stuff
with like either Seth Rogen or James Franco. I think he was in Pineapple Express. Man, he's been in a bunch of stuff. But they're all playing like all those people are playing themselves, but they're playing like a fucked up
like their own
version of themselves.
Yeah, right.
So he was playing on the persona that he has, which is he's really just a dick.
Yeah.
And not only is a dick, but he would fuck you over to be the ruler of the netherworld.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most fucked up part was Channing Tatum's ass and getting a fucking mask ripped off, and he's like, I can fuck him whenever I want. He's right here. He's what are you gonna fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, he fucks me all the time, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking movie? Who thinks of this fucking shit?
LSD is a hell of a drug.
Indeed.
All right, great pick, Todd.
Thank you.
Let's move over to Cory Celeski.
Oh yeah, I had The Sinner from Nick Bader on Netflix.
Right.
Let's just say starting out, even pulling the movie or the show up
I hated it.
He was so pissed off.
What service was
Hated
that?
it.
on Netflix.
Okay.
So you would think normal show, season 1, episode 1.
Right.
Makes fucking sense, right? Yeah, no. It was just the seasons were names. Julia and
Like our podcast.
Corinne or whatever the sec.
Yeah, isn't it like a crime anthology?
It's an anthology, yeah. So
Okay.
and then all the parts are they're all reversed on the queue in Netflix.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'll just start with whatever one that I think works and go. So it was a part 1. So I was already pissed at starting the show off, and started watching it. A little intense beginning with 2 of the parents dying, quote unquote parents, and then it just kind of went down the shitter from there. The plus side, Mel Brooks stars in it. That's good. I think it's his worst role ever.
Mel Brooks, isn't he like 99 years old?
He's not that old.
No, not at all.
Mel Brooks, from like Blazing Saddles?
Spaceballs, yes. Spaceballs, Mel Brooks.
Gotta be in
Feels like he's in his upper 80s.
at least.
He doesn't look bad in the show by any means.
Okay.
But I thought, okay, Mel Brooks can hold this together.
All right, well,
he did not.
No, it was not Mel Brooks. It was not Mel Brooks.
yes. All right, good. As a favor to me, only because I just noticed that it's in my list to watch. Can we like lighten up on the spoilers from here? Because I would like to watch it.
Oh, there's. I'm not going to give you any spoilers because
Okay.
I got through the second episode. I'm like, yep.
Bill Pullman.
Oh, sorry, Bill Pullman. Whatever.
Wait, did you just mistake?
Yeah,
Mel,
from Mel,
Bill
You did
Pullman
that
from
earlier
Mel
today,
I
Brooks?
did.
too.
Yeah.
Bill Pullman was also in Spaceballs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but he was the ham salad guy.
Jessica Biel, Bill Pullman.
Bill Pullman's like 45 years younger than Mel Brooks.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, it happens.
Also, probably not Jewish.
Pullman, he could be Jewish. Either way.
Okay,
But it's fucking terrible.
you would not recommend it.
I would not.
Okay, and you made it through the two 1 hour episodes.
I think they were 45-minute episodes.
Okay, all right.
And getting through that was rough.
Okay,
It skips around a lot. There's not a straight through storyline. You definitely have to pay attention to everything that's going on, because if you miss like maybe even a 1 minute scene, it's going to throw everything completely off.
That's your Achilles heel. You're constantly looking away from the screen.
Exactly.
I sat down. I was literally, that's all I did.
But I
last night
think-
was
I
watch.
thi- I
Was he
think-
really?
No, yeah, he did.
I think
I
he's-
went to bed, but
I think he's a creature.
So how do you know?
it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
So how would you know? You were in bed.
Corey's not only a creature of his environment, but happenstance. And I feel like Corey's like a rolling stone or a snowball tumbling down the hill in the sense that, if something gets fucked up at the beginning, this is completely going to throw him for the rest of the
Yeah,
show.
that's a good point. How much of that is
No,
because
dude,
you were
I-
pissed when you started watching it? How much? Is
No,
that?
I tried because the beginning, the opening of whatever. I was watching Julian, and part of the anthology.
Yeah.
The opening was good. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I can get into this, and it just, like I said, it just went downhill from there. Like it strong opening. Everything in the middle, though, from what it seems, it's not there.
Okay.
But then again, I know, given Nick's history with it, and I kind of think we all have our own little kind of thing that we do with gentleman's agreement. I told myself earlier I was going to say that too. But
You're big on niche.
Bob does,
Right.
a lot of classics, a lot of movies from way back when. I do documentaries.
True.
Sure.
Danielle's Disney Plus, kind of all that stuff.
Always.
Not always, but I'm just saying it's.
I'm a girl. What do you
I'm
think I
not.
watch?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And then Nick does
I think
like
you
the
kinda
weird,
just did though.
like the weird, crazy shit
did.
that is kind of off the wall, and not necessarily sci-fi, because I think I see where they were going with the center.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't get on board with that.
Okay.
But
yeah, you're not a sci-fi guy.
no, but it's so yeah. We all have our own little categories that we like, and
Yeah, there's nothing sci-fi about it though.
Oh, okay.
so, but given, like I said, given what we all like, and stuff in the past you have given, like Dark and the Rain and all that, those were solid. This one, I mean, teach their own.
Dude, I mean,
I would still implore you to watch it. Check
Okay.
it out for yourself. For me, it didn't do it for me.
Okay.
So
Fair enough. Todd Dillon.
That is me.
All right, let's hear it, sir. What do you got?
I had Derek Delgadio's In and of Itself.
All right, now
And,
this is the one you were supposed to watch with Mary.
Right. And I didn't get a chance to explain to you that it doesn't work like that at my house. Mary doesn't just watch movies with me when I say, hey, we should watch a movie together.
Even after you
And,
told her that I assigned it to both of you and I specifically thought that she would love it?
She's just not into you.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, tell Mary she's dead to me now.
That's a movie, right?
She's dead.
I know. That's
It
what
is
I
a
told
movie.
her. I tried to tell her that, Bob. I worked that literally from the day you assigned it to me to the end of the week, and I'm like, I got to watch this before the show. And she's like, I'm too busy. Tell Bob I got things to do.
Did she actually have things to do?
No.
All right, so you watch it by yourself.
I watched it by myself, and she actually rolled in about midway through, laid on the couch, and fell asleep. And then I kept waking her up going, you will not believe this. You are missing one great movie. And I kept shaking her, and so I don't know if she'll ever watch it. I told her I wanted to watch it again.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
Great.
Fuck her. You
Yeah.
tried. You tried.
I did.
All
It
right.
doesn't work like that in here.
So what'd you think?
I thought it was amazing. I was watching it, and I'm like, I don't know exactly what's going on. Like, literally the first, 20 minutes, I'm like, is this a movie? Is this a sketch? Is this... And then, I'm like, oh, this is a... And I read the thing where they said it had been performed 552 times or whatever it
Yeah.
was. But they took their time kind of really showing the audience that there's an audience there. It's hard to figure out. And I'm like, wow, what an amazing piece of art. Great magic. Incredible.
Yeah, now you understand why I'm like I can't describe it to you, so you need to go in cold and just kind of learn what it is as you watch.
Agree 100%. In fact, immediately, literally at work today, I recommended it to people with the same kind of setup you gave me. I immediately texted my sister. I'm like, if you haven't seen this show, it's spectacular.
Yeah. Now
Great
you know
pick.
why. Like it was like 1:00 in the morning when I finished it, and I called my daughter immediately. I'm like, you have to watch. She's like, oh, I'm sitting here with my boyfriend. I'm like, you guys have to watch it. We gave her the same rules that I gave you. Like, don't read about it. Turn your phone off. Like, watch it from start to finish. Pay attention. So yeah, I'm really glad you liked it. I know when I watched, and again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody else.
What is it called again?
It's called so Derek Delgadio is a guy who is a magician of the kind of David Blaine variety,
Okay.
but he's not like David Blaine, where David Blaine does a lot of like street magic.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Delgadio is much more of like a...
Well, and I don't want you to give too much away, Bob, because
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
you should see it. And the other piece too is he is a phenomenal performer.
Yeah. It's not a magic show. There's a bit of magic in it, but it's not a magic show.
Okay.
He is a phenomenal performer, and if he wrote that, he is a super genius.
Yeah, I think that he did. I can text you the name of it.
Okay.
But I would encourage anybody who's. I got to tell you, Todd. I mean, without spoiling it, like the end of it, the last, 15 minutes of it.
Yeah. Yes.
I was like standing. I stood up off my couch, and I'm like, "Holy shit!"
I did. Mary was going to punch me because I'm like, "You will not." She's like, "Just shut up."
It blew my mind, and I'm like, "This is." I think I told you last week. I'm like, "This will be life changing."
Yep.
And so I'll text it to you, but I highly recommend, if you can't talk him into watching it with you, watch it without him. So that's awesome, Todd. I'm so glad you liked it.
Loved it. Great pick. Best one of the series.
Wow, that's high praise. I appreciate that. I had to watch Vikings, and I want to say, was it Ken who signed me Vikings?
It must have been. Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so Vikings is on Hulu, but I feel like it was like a CW show or something like that before Hulu picked it up.
The
Like,
CW50?
Some network that no one ever watches. And so I watched the first 3 episodes, or like 45 minutes each. It's so 30 seconds or less. It's essentially about a guy who's a Viking.
No way.
Interesting.
Get out of town.
You don't fucking say.
You fucking get on it.
Exactly.
Dude, I swear to God,
My mind's already blown.
No. I know you're having a hard time believing this, but he's a Viking.
Tell me more.
He's got a wife who's also a Viking.
No.
Shut the
No.
fuck up.
And he's got a kid.
No, go let me guess.
Who's a Packer?
Viking. Viking. 100% Viking.
Is he a Nord?
And they live in a little
Viking
village
land.
with a whole lot of other Vikings. And
Norway.
there's a guy who Gabriel Byrne, who's in Usual Suspects, and a bunch of other shit, who plays the head
Viking.
Guess what? Viking in this village, and he doesn't like the fact that our hero, the original guy who's a Viking, doesn't want to go pillage west like they do every season. He wants to pillage east. And he's like,
That was
Stands
crazy.
to reason.
no,
Those crazy Vikings.
No, motherfucker. We don't go east. We go west. You know why? Because we don't know what's east. It's the sea, and there's no land on the horizon. He's like, you know what, bitch? I've got this new kind of thing I invented with a buddy of mine who's also a Viking, and I like to call it a Viking compass, and I think we can make it. And he's like, fuck you. You work for me. You're not going. And he's like, we'll see about that. And that
Who
is
owns the lease on the boat?
the boat was built by a friend of the Viking, who's also a Viking, who can touch trees and determine just by touch whether or not it'll make a good boat. And from that, he built what might be the sweetest
Viking
boat ever made, using no tools whatsoever that I could see, to sail away to a land that they couldn't see with their Viking compass.
Wonderful.
You know, the beauty about that too. I bet that guy could pick one hell of a cantaloupe.
Oh,
Well, you have
he
to.
thumps with the best of them, Todd.
I mean, you have to be a little wary. I mean, especially back then. I mean, they're going east, and
Yep.
Jerry Reed had not been born yet. So, I mean, how could you go eastbound and down without even knowing where you're going? I mean,
they're going to do what they say can't be done. That's what they're going to do.
Of course they are.
You didn't think I knew that.
You got a long way to go.
I didn't know.
And a short time to get there. But so here's what I'll say. Here's the good parts about the show. Everybody in the show
Was a Viking.
covered in dirt, covered in mud and filth, completely dirty and filthy. And that's what you want from a Viking show. You want real Vikings.
Authenticity.
Like
Dirty hot chicks.
if they looked like the four of us sitting around this room, showered and primped and
No.
Makeup and
We're way too stout to be Vikings.
but only wearing Viking clothes, he'd be like, this is a bullshit Viking
And
show.
Danielle didn't shower today, so.
But I did.
I didn't want to say anything.
But they were covered in filth and muck and filth
And muck?
and muck
Can you say it again, please?
and filth and muck
Okay, all right. There we
as
go.
Vikings, and that made it real. The problem is
Real Vikings?
the problem is
the tree touching, that was not good.
that was actually kind of entertaining just for like 10 seconds. The problem is that show came out after Game of Thrones, and you can't out Game of Thrones. I don't care what you do, because Game of Thrones had
Vikings?
they had no Vikings, but they had the things that this show was missing, which was great dialogue and a plot and real drama.
There was a plot they wanted to go east.
How many seconds did it take you to say that plot?
On a boat with no tools.
Exactly. It would have taken you probably the length of this episode to explain the plot of Game of Thrones, and that is why this show is inferior and why it was really tough for me to get into it.
So would you say Game of Thrones was probably your yardstick during this time?
It has to be.
I mean, does it? Or could you just say it was a different show?
If I told you there was a sitcom about 6 people who knew each other, wouldn't your yardstick be Friends?
I mean, I don't know. There were 6 people that knew each other on Seinfeld, but they were totally different shows, and they were both successful.
6 people. Which 6?
You had Elaine and Kramer and Jerry and George.
And keep going.
FDR?
And
No,
you
no.
had
No,
Newman.
minor characters.
You had Newman. You didn't say
FDR.
minor. You didn't
There's
say
minor characters in Friends too.
You
but
did have
the-
FDR.
The 6 characters on Friends were not the same as. But you're gonna. That's what I'm saying to you, man.
Oh, you want
You're
me
gonna
Corey,
have
you
a
want me to keep going?
yardstick. You're gonna have a yardstick that you're going to measure against those things. And unfortunately, here it's Game of Thrones, and you're just not going to measure up to it.
You
You're
had
not.
Rebecca De Mornay on Seinfeld.
I don't know
as
if that's
well.
legit.
No
or
one
not,
knows
but-
who the fuck that is. So
Babu Bot.
You had Babu
Billy
Bot.
Batman.
you can
Yeah.
you can keep naming
You
like,
had the soup
characters
Na- you
who
had
are
the
in one
soup
episode
Nazi.
if you want to.
You
but
had
I
the
think you're
soup
proving
Nazi.
I think you're proving my point.
You had Mr. Peterman. You had
I've lost count.
Mr. Pitt.
I'm gonna hijack my review back to me and close it out by saying I'm glad I've always kind of like, oh, I wonder if that's any good. So I'm glad he assigned it to me, and now I know the answer. Not quite as good as I thought it was going to be.
Thank God he didn't show up.
No, I would have told him if it was.
Hey,
My review would have been
hey,
exactly
Bob.
the same. Yeah.
The funny thing is, actually, I was wondering if you'd think that, because I actually tried to watch, and I haven't seen all the Game of Thrones. In fact, I've seen very little of it. But I tried to watch Vikings, and I'm like, 2 episodes in, and I'm like, if I walk away from this and never come back, my feelings are going to be hurt. And so I did. I think I watched 2 episodes, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
It was like the guys from the Hallmark Channel watch Game of Thrones. They're like, we need to do a show like that, but we need to make it so that like you can watch it while you're cooking pasta and taking care of your small children.
So
and you're gonna miss like 20 minutes at a clip and still be okay.
I watched about 5 seasons of Game of Thrones and haven't picked back up. I want to. Just life got in the way. Something I want to get back to. I watched probably 3 episodes of Vikings, probably 3 years ago, and it was entertaining. But I echo both of your sentiments in saying that it didn't hurt my feelings to never go back to it. I wouldn't have given it as horrible of a review as you did, but yeah, it was entertaining for
I didn't think
sure.
it was that horrible.
No, I think it was entertaining.
I think if you watch the first 3 episodes like I did, I think I encapsulated the plot pretty well.
Yeah. yeah, you did. You were very vague.
Sorry,
But-
Ken. I
but-
appreciate the honesty.
But I shouldn't. I
Yeah.
should be, yelling at myself because I've
Why?
never gone back to it.
I mean-
if I think it's so fantastic, then maybe I should have watched it more. I mean,
that's why we do this. So, all right, are we ready to do new assignments then? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, what's Corey giving me?
Hold on. Let's actually do this the right way.
As opposed to the wrong way every time. All right, that's awesome to know.
Did I get it? I think I did. I got it. No, I didn't. Corey can't give one to himself.
he does that every day.
We got to keep this a family friendly show, at least for the moment.
No, we're an explicit podcast.
Oh, I'm going to get it.
Wow.
That's it. I got it. Unfortunately, you are getting it from Cory, Todd. Okay, so I have Nick. Todd, you have me. Cory, you have me, Todd.
Okay.
All right.
Cory, you have Todd. Danielle, you have Cory. Sorry. And Nick, you got Danielle.
Okay.
Why does Nick keep getting me every time?
Stop! This is a random formula. It could not be more fair. Could not be more fair. I don't know what else to do unless we want to put our names into a bucket, some sort of a box, and pick the words from it. I don't know where we're going to find one of those, but all right. Todd?
Yeah. The
Todd.
man who's seen everything.
But you're a
Have you
creative
seen-
guy.
Have you seen The Godfather of Harlem?
The Godfather of Harlem?
That's the movie.
No,
Well, it's series.
it's a series. No, I have not. Where
Yeah.
Where can I find it?
I think it's one of the regular, like the Netflix or whatever. It's or even right. Did you cut the cable?
Did I what?
Did you cut the cable? I think it's like a
Yes.
TBS or something.
Yeah,
like
Bob does not have cable.
I've got TB. I'll find it. The Godfather of Harlem.
that. Godfather of Harlem.
I have not seen it.
It's another Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, I love Forrest Whitaker. Okay, I'm good. Great pick, buddy.
Sweet.
Okay. Cory, you got something for Todd?
I do. Todd, I know you said you don't have Apple TV.
I do now.
Oh, you do? Perfect.
Yeah.
You have Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, yes.
Got it.
Starring Jason Sudeikis.
Well, I'm already loving it.
I'm really dying to hear the review because that's one of those things where I'm like, if I had Apple TV, I probably would have watched that.
I know you would watch it.
You would have. Hilarious.
Okay.
I love Sudeikis.
Dude, I guarantee you're going to sit down, watch it in one night.
All right. Let's see. I got Nick. Nick, what are you in the mood for, buddy? Oh,
Soft touches and
I got it.
warm embrace.
Let us piggyback on your recent love of Goodfellas,
Okay.
and I'm going to give you Casino.
I've seen
Have
most.
you
I've
seen-
seen most of Casino. Most of
Have
it.
you really?
I have, just when we were at the bar, like at Ray's and things like that. Yeah.
Does that mean you've seen it with no sound, or you've?
No, I've seen most of it.
Oh,
I want to say. I mean, I'll watch it in full, but I think I'd be doing you an injustice. So
Okay. Plan B, Raging Bull.
Never. I had no idea even what it is.
Perfect. That's what you got.
Okay.
So, should I at least give him the quick like
No.
No. Just go with it.
like who's in it, who directs it, that kind of shit?
You say who's in it.
So, the guy who directed Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese,
Mm-hmm.
also directed Raging Bull. It's
Okay.
a much older film. Also Robert De Niro. Also Joe Pesci.
Okay.
So I think you're like it. Okay. Although we'll see. All right, Nick.
One of these days, Alice. One of these days.
Pow!
Right in the
Right
kiss.
in the kiss.
Have you seen The Staircase?
No.
Yes, you have.
I have?
Did she see it?
We watch. Go. You can.
No, she can't
Don't make her
rewatch it.
rewatch
No.
I want to rewatch it.
Can you give her like in 10, 20 words, remind her what it's about?
True crime story about a guy pushing his wife down the staircase.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Sounds like an everyday occurrence.
it happens all the time. Danielle, have you seen The Magicians?
The Magicians?
Yeah.
No.
No. It's a little bit more fanciful. You might enjoy that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that sounds much more
Fanciful?
Disney Plus-ish.
It definitely is.
What's it on?
It's on
No
Netflix.
crazy accent.
A magician.
The Magicians. It's more Disney, Harry Potter kind of shit.
As long as that give me scary
Meets Marvel's
shit.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, it ain't. It's not scary at all. It's it's a little bit more mamsy-pamsy.
Oh yeah. If there was a Mamsy Pamsy network, Danielle would have a subscription.
I'm
We
a
do, Disney
girl.
Plus.
Right.
Bob's like, wait a second. I didn't know Mamsy Pamsy was going to get pulled out on this podcast.
Danielle, you got Cory.
I know. Have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Are we fucking serious right now?
You have it. Perfect.
It's on Hulu.
No, he's seen it. Are you?
No, he has
No,
not.
he has not.
No? Well, why'd you say, are you fucking serious?
Because he
doesn't
knows
wanna watch it.
that's what he's stuck with now because he hasn't seen it.
That's awesome.
You'll
It's a
like
great
it.
show.
It's good.
It's awesome.
Thank you, Todd.
Toby Smulders.
Thanks, Todd.
Colby Smulders is hot.
It's a good show.
Am I right, Todd?
He's hot.
Thank you.
I had a feeling today because we were at Box Lunch looking at the Pops. They had a couple from How I Met Your Mother, and he didn't really say anything. And I was like, I don't think you've seen that before.
Are we
Nice.
gonna breeze past the fact that you guys now call them the Pops?
Oh.
Sorry.
Hold on. Is that a shared notion that you both
Nick,
Oh,
how do you
that's something she just came up with.
Yeah.
Nick, could you do me a favor and
Yeah.
pretend as though you and I are Danielle and Cory? You're Cory, I'm Danielle. And we're walking
I don't
through
like this
we're
pretending.
walking through the Box Lunch. And
What is the Box Lunch, by the way? You've said that like 5 times.
It's a store. It's like,
It's a sister company of Hot Topic.
yeah.
Okay.
It's hot
that
Top-
almost makes it worse. But okay.
Hot Topic's like your grungy emo kind of
I
place.
know, I know Hot Topic.
Box Lunch is like your more hipster-esque kind of.
Yeah, because they have stuff from
What are you doing
Friends,
there?
Disney, The
I would not
Office.
call you a hipster.
No, it's better than Hot Topic though.
It's
Okay.
like the preppier version of Hot Topic.
Okay, fair enough. That would be a better
boy.
assessment.
I don't know what any of these things are.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Todd.
I'm like, what do you guys? These are stores in the mall?
Yes.
So we're walking by Box Lunch,
Yeah.
and I go, "Hey, babe, do you see what I see over there?"
So glad you're the female.
Well, you do, Cory. I don't.
Yeah. I could use some pops.
Oh, are we gonna get some pops today?
We're at the mall, aren't we? I'm not here for clothes. Obviously. Buy all my Under Armour online. Actually, my mom buys it for me.
Don't you mean our mom?
Okay, Danielle, we've talked about this before. Can we just go?
This is the weirdest conversation we've never had.
Yeah.
Can we just go in the store? Can we both eat our soft pretzels with cream cheese and just go in the store?
Well, we would if you hadn't eaten all of my cream cheese.
Oh no, I'm not a cream cheese fan. It was actually the honey mustard I was going after.
You know I wouldn't fucking eat honey mustard, so
Just for the reaction. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
And
Let's stop fighting and just look at some pops because we both love them.
oh, babe, I love you.
You're gonna get pop your own when you get home.
And
Scene. Absolutely.
No, absolutely not.
That has happened. I feel like that's
no,
happened.
it has not.
Was that
Well, now it has.
not
was that-
even close.
Was that eerily familiar?
no, it wasn't.
No.
Stop clapping, Todd.
And scene.
the creepiest thing I've ever heard?
Why do we do that every week?
No, we don't
Exactly.
need to do that.
More. Encore.
Hey,
Encore. Do it again.
if you'd like to see more of that, you can call 618-SHOCKER.
And reference Mystery Celeski Theater.
We now have a segment name. This is the greatest day ever. All right, Cory. I know you're not in the mood. I know you're not in the mood to do anything I asked you to do, but
No, they're not impressed at
no,
all.
not at all. Can you pull up the artwork for Pick of the Week, please? Notice,
Let me see if I can do that.
notice I said please.
Let me get around to
Oh
it.
my God. They're not impressed.
Todd Dillon, please help me out here. You might be the only one not in Dutch with the couple directly across from me. Do you have and do you have a pick of the week for this week?
This week I do not.
All right.
I have something that I have to try it out before I can recommend.
Oh, that's fair. All right, Danielle.
Nothing I can think of.
Nick.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank God.
Of course. So, because my cohorts have not brought anything to the table today, I will give you 2 picks of the week. So I'm going to do Bliss Lights Starport USB blue laser is my first one. So basically, small blue laser that you hook up to any USB device. You can plug it into an outlet or whatever, and it shoots the equivalent of like a galaxy onto your ceiling with a blue laser. It looks really fucking cool.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, looks really fucking cool. I've yet to show the guys like in an actual dark environment.
That's because it's in your bedroom.
Well, it's kind of rapey.
Yeah.
But I will later on.
It's even worse that you use that word.
I'll invite you with treats.
No,
and I'll
it's
show
too
you
late
guys.
Now. You're gonna ply us with treats.
But it's very cool. It's only a couple inches long, and
Oh,
so is
okay. That's definitely not.
What about the laser?
So is the laser. I was gonna say so is the
That's what
laser.
she said.
So very cool. Blue laser shoots a galaxy onto the ceiling.
Oh, God, stop! You
so-
are not making
So
it any better.
3 inches long, shoots all over the ceiling.
Shoots the galaxy on the ceiling. I shoot it in your
I
mouth.
have to bring you in a dark room to see it, just so you are all aware. But it's called Bliss Lights Starport USB Laser. You can find it on Amazon. Second pick of the week is going to be Vant LED Nightlight. They're kind of a square, or they can be like a rounded square nightlight with a little bit of like an electronic eye in the middle. The outside of it lets off a very warm, or you could do like daylight, depending on which one you buy, LED light. For 6 of them, I think let's see, what does it say for 6? $11.99. They're actually on sale right now for 14% off. Hell of a deal. They're awesome. They're about the size of, I don't know, like a silver dollar maybe, and really cool little night lights that you can put throughout your house. So again, the name of that was Vant LED night lights on VONT on Amazon.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Very
since
nice.
People didn't bring things to the table.
You did. I appreciate that because I also don't have anything. I thought I did.
Oh, I can do one more if you want me to.
As long as it's more like.
I'll have
the
another one. I got a thing. I just got to try it.
Oh, well, stop it.
What?
Stop telling me about stuff that you can't review.
Yeah, you haven't tried it yet.
Save it for next week.
So for my the third one, then I'll save for pick of the week. I'm going to say is so I have a small TV upstairs, like a little Toshiba TV that's in the kitchen. It's on like an articulating hospital arm in the kitchen,
So
and
it's small, so like 42 inches.
well, so Mr. 14 TVs in your house, yeah, it's
17.
I would say it's like a 23-inch TV. It's almost like
That's Todd's phone.
that's like his watch. I was going to say it's probably his watch. But the remote, with my hangry thumbs just mashing down on the remote keys, something must have happened. I think I also at one point had chewed on the side of the remote.
Wait, hold on. You what?
I think I chewed on it, nervously chewed on it.
Well,
I don't think that was the problem, though.
Set the scene, though. Where are you? You're like watching
Just
TV
watching
with
a
the remote
movie,
in your hand,
like
chewing on it?
It used to be in my bedroom, so watching a movie, and I think I was just chewing
Where
on the
most
corner
of us
it.
might have like a piece of beef jerky or like a
So my dad, rough side story, but
remote.
my dad had to. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with. Fishing, but with hold on with
The sport?
yeah with fishing.
Okay.
Deep sea?
Yeah,
I
you-
have fished before.
No, not
yeah.
deep sea fishing, but regular freshwater like pond fishing.
Stream fishing?
Yeah, so
Brook trout?
so they make these little weights that are made of lead that have like an
They're
opening.
really bad for you.
Yeah, you don't need them, but so they're
Not like remotes, anyway.
they're about the size of an eraser head, but they vary in size. And basically, the idea is that you can attach these weights to your fishing line, depending on how
T-shot.
how far, how deep you want your line to go in the water. So you depress it with like a piece of pliers, or a set
piece
of
of pliers?
a set of pliers.
Okay.
You depress these little weights.
I'm listening now.
So when I was like 8, my dad was driving up north, and straws, anything I fucking chew on.
You didn't have a remote handy.
I had no remote handy, and my dad still tells a story to this day.
Just like you are.
He looked into the rearview mirror, and he noticed that I was chewing on something, and he's like, what are you chewing on? And I'm like, oh, these things from the tackle box. And he's like, well, what things? I was like, I don't know, these metal squishy things. He's like, lead weights? You're chewing on lead weights? And my dad like swerves the car off to the side of the road and runs to the back. He's like, are you an idiot? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, people die from having lead paint in their rooms, and you're putting it in your mouth and eating it. And the only thing he had on hand was several Capri Suns that he is shoving straws into, and like, open your mouth! And he's squirting Capri Suns into my mouth on the side of the road. Like,
oh, that'll do it.
Rinse your mouth out. So
I've often swabbed out, festering wounds with Capri Sun.
So I mean, that's all he had at the time.
Someone came in the hospital the other day from ingesting a shit ton of mercury, and all the doctors requested was a box of Capri Suns.
I could see that. That's all he had. It was the 90s. That's all he had. So
It was the 90s.
So yeah, I've always chewed on things.
They had Robitussin.
Yeah.
So you
put some tussin on
wash
it.
that down with some gushers.
So yeah, so I chewed on the remote. But anyhow, so the pick of the week, I'm not sure if this was from chewing on it or not. I am part Labrador, but the remote stopped working. And
that was a roundabout way to get to that.
Yeah. Well, you guys, the interruptions. So I purchased a GE Universal Remote on Amazon. It was like $9. Went through a couple.
Is it raspberry flavored?
No, I hope.
Okay.
Went through a couple different fucking things to program it, but it only took about 10 minutes, and it works swimmingly, and it tastes delicious.
God.
Hey, now I'm bummed that I didn't send you a bark box for.
Send it to me, Todd, and just don't be surprised when you get something in return.
All right. Well, that is Schnozzcast for the week.
I guess I'll just forego my pick of the week.
I'm sorry, man. I thought you didn't have one.
I never said that.
All right.
Please hold this podcast on
Jesus
my shoulders.
Christ.
Please go.
So
how did he get 3 picks in?
I was waiting for him to finish all fucking 3 of his picks.
He finished
because there's 5 people and 2 people had picks.
Right, but you did one to the other, and you never said anything. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
So, anyways, I heard this on Burt Kreischer's podcast.
Okay.
He was talking about this liquid death, and at first I'm like, oh, it's got to be coffee or something like that. I'm like, I'm not a coffee guy, so didn't think about it. But he started going. He's like, oh yeah, it hydrates you so much better, it tastes better. And he says it's water in a can, and I'm like, there's no way this is real. So found out that they sell it at Whole Foods, and I went and picked up myself some liquid death.
So what is it?
Yeah, what is it?
Water.
It's canned mountain spring water.
Why is it called liquid death?
I don't know.
Because that makes people like Cory buy it.
They don't filter it. It comes from the same place as Flint water.
No, from the Austrian Alps, Todd, because that's true.
Yeah, right.
The Flint of Austria.
Well, yeah. Why does everyone assume that the Austrian Alps are like pristine? I bet there's probably like
Exactly.
there's slums
when I
in
was
Austria.
I peed in every river I walked by when I was in Austria.
But the thing is, Todd, is that
He's not kidding.
Bud Light, like during pandemics and things like that, and like for Flint, they stopped production of a lot of their beer and filled it with water and sent it out, and it literally said Bud Light water on the side of it, and it looks very similar to what Cory's drinking, but Cory probably paid some decent money for that.
How much for that can?
$1 a can.
$1 for a
can of water.
16-ounce can of water?
Yes.
Yeah. That I peed in.
I'm sorry, 16.9 ounces.
Oh, there were.
Well, that's Todd's pee. That 0.9.
There's a lot of bear and goat,
you know where that
pee
went.
in there. Bear and goat pee.
But
and Todd pee.
I just bought it more or less because they were talking about on his podcast. And it's apparently it's the new thing is canning water rather than putting it in plastic.
Do you really think? I mean, honestly, they're like, oh, let's go to the Austrian Alps and put this all on a plane and pay for this to go to the United States.
I'm not gonna lie though, it is very weird cracking open a can of water and drinking out of a can tasting water.
But the can is aluminum.
Cooler package.
The can is
it is a way cooler
right?
package.
It's aluminum, right?
Yes.
So it technically it would degrade faster.
It's way more recyclable than plastic.
Yeah. So I can get behind that. I just can't. I don't understand why it's called liquid death. That's the part I can't get past.
Nah, I have no idea.
Because if it was,
you're gonna murder your thirst, is what it says.
Is that really?
Because if it was
That's what
called,
it says on the can.
if it was called Austrian water, Corey'd be like, fuck that.
This is the equivalent of our 618 shocker line. Why did they call it liquid death? Because they were going to murder your thirst. Why did we name our hotline that? Because you're gonna shock the cast.
You're gonna shock the podcast with your questions.
So there you go.
Well, Todd, I think we've come to the end of it here.
Oh, nice.
Well, Todd, I'm going to fall on the sword and take responsibility for this. I have not. I have failed in including you in the goodbyes for the episodes. So my first order of business. This is Bob saying, "Have a good night from the Schnozzcast." Todd.
Hey, have a good night from the Schnozzcast.
There you go, Nick.
Yeah, have a good night, Todd. I'm going to ask you one question. Are you available for the next maybe 20 minutes after the show?
I am.
Okay, we're going to put you on a Zoom call, and we're going to go upstairs in the kitchen, have a couple drinks with you, and then we'll end it after that. How about that?
Sounds good.
I'll send you a link.
Nick just wants to show you his room with the laser beam.
No, we're not going to. No, it's all wishful thinking on Corey's part. I have to introduce you to say goodbye, but anyhow. Todd, I'll send you the link. Corey.
Good night, everyone. See you next week. Danielle?
Good night. Oh, my God. I don't know why it's so hard.
That's what you said.
Good.